Whoops. Hey, what's up, everyone? Tonight we're going to be talking about Bad Batch, The Mandalorian, some Star Wars toys, some pickups, and our meetup that we had on the weekend. So thank you for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up, let everyone know that we're live, and cue the intro. Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I'm very excited to bring you this special review. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is Bad Batch Case of the Mondays. Is the music playing? Let me know if the music's playing. Where here on the channel, we talk about toys and action figures, but we get that kind of stuff based on TV shows and movies that we like. So we're going to chat about that tonight with my friends and myself, the Boba Squadron. So thank you so much for being here in the chat. Or if you're watching on the replay, if something comes up and you're like, oh, yeah, I want to type it, but it's not live. Type it anyway. I will respond to it because I love seeing everyone interact at the same time. This is streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for being here on the platform of your choice. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and I appreciate you. And we're going to talk about some, what we all love, I assume, if you're watching right now, Star Wars content. I had the privilege of hanging out with some people this weekend. We're going to talk about that real quick. Some new Star Wars toys reveals, and of course the shows and anything else we got going on. Thank you so much for being here, and let's bring on the Boba Squadron, fresh off of her trip to Toronto, Canada, from whichever island. This is our friend returning, and again, everyone, we have a full squadron tonight, so please welcome back Livin' La Vida Yoko.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
I wasn't sure where you were going from based on my sentence, but hey, I get to see you again. How are you?
I feel like I was just there.
You were was it just yesterday?
Yeah, it was.
Late yesterday, early Sunday, I saw you. I didn't see you. It was like past midnight, so technically that counts. But hey, it's great to see you again. Glad you're home safe.
Yes.
How was everything? The return, the journey.
Good. I had a fun week visiting friends and back home, and it's like spring here, so that's weird.
You sure you didn't go through like a wormhole or something?
I might
but
have.
Either way, are you back on your channel this week on Twitch?
Yes. Tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I'll be there.
So she is back. So please make sure you're following, subscribe to Yoko over on Twitch. Oh, look, we have a thumbs up from Facebook. No one can see what I'm pointing at, but that's cool. Thank you. Let's bring on the next person. It is a valued member of our team. Also got to hear from him this weekend. Some say he might be Commander Cody, but some say he's just a doll. Please welcome back a permanent fixture of our show and of the Funboxing Sundays, Mr. Lil Boba.
It's about time I've gotten my time in the spotlight.
Oh, I got the intros wrong. This should be Paul Sun-hyung Lee. Sorry, Lil Boba.
Well, what's up, everybody?
Hey, Paul, there it is.
How's it going?
Why'd you gave him control?
Intern secretary gave me the wrong cue card.
Yeah, it's tough, man. The secretaries, a good secretary is really hard to come by. But if you search long and hard enough, voila, you might find one. So big shout out to DJ.
I absolutely love that you've just been using that this whole weekend.
Cool.
It's made my day.
It's cool, baby. I love DK. DK, shout out to you. If you're watching, I don't know if he even watches this stream.
He's angry. He does.
Not on time.
He's at home crying tears into his big secretary blanket.
Secretary blanket.
Oh man, Paul, you were on your channel yesterday, back to unboxing. You had some great trivia, thanks to Tommy. Oh, yeah. And it was awesome to hang out with you this weekend, man. And Yoko. all together.
Yay. It was
Obi
fun.
Squad.
We were just one shy of the full squadron out in TO. Guess we know
right.
which piston wasn't firing. So
Well, is that the next person?
yeah, let's introduce him. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get the whole team together.
Yeah.
You were someone who we definitely missed this weekend, and it would have been awesome if you were here. Wait, I should just say it to your face. No, I'll say it here. It would have been awesome if you were here because we really like you, and
That's
it would
right.
have been fun to all have a drink together.
Yeah.
Mr. Ernie, the Fallen Fed.
Yeah. There's basis of it I missed out. I was just, scrolling, looking at pictures over and over again.
You went to Disney. You had fun, right?
I'm always at Disney. And I always have fun there, but
Such
yeah.
Wow,
Such a
how
weird
spoiled
fact,
are you?
right?
I'm always at
Weird,
Disney.
I'm always at Disney. I've never been to Disney, Ernie.
I know.
Cats, oh
I'm
my gosh.
waiting for you to come. I can't wait for that day. It's going to be amazing. Like, we all need to make a day. Yoko definitely has to be here because we got to be your security. But it's going to be amazing. But yeah, I was at Disney, and unfortunately I couldn't make it out there. You guys look like you guys had a blast. Like, I
Oh my
was so
God.
jealous of all the
It was a
pictures.
pretty last minute trip. I booked it
It's-
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Understandable. But
Yeah.
still, I wish I was there. Plasty put me there as Force Ghost Ernie. That was awesome.
That was
It
awesome.
St.
was-
Patrick's Day.
St.
Force
Patrick's
Ghost
Day
Ernie.
Force.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
just
so that
any.
made it even better.
Yeah.
Shout
But
out to Plasty.
I wish, man. And then all you guys were on too. And I've been busy so much since I came back from my trip. Like, I haven't had time for anything. So unfortunately, I couldn't join any of you guys this week that were on. I've been shooting stuff. I've been busy at home. I'm still waiting to hear if I got that position or not.
Dang.
Yeah, can you believe it? Still
Yeah.
nothing.
Are you applying for
So-
the secretary position as well?
You know what? At this point, I'll take anything. I'll see if that's what they want to label me as. I'll take it. But
I don't know if you want to be secretary.
Yeah.
All right, let's just get that out of the way because I feel like it's going to keep coming up the whole stream, and people who weren't there on Thursday are like, "What the hell is the secretary?" So, a friend of mine, a friend of the channel, who Paul has often has referred to as my intern, my friend DK.
One time.
One time, but
One time.
The
And
first
you
time-
ran with it.
one time was all you needed because the title stuck. And then last Thursday's stream, someone mentioned about being a secretary and using DK as a secretary. He showed up in the chat and he wrote secretary, like he was really excited, but he spelled it with like all the vowels were E's. I'm like, DK, that says secretary. Like, if an eatery was somewhere you go to eat, then a secretary is somewhere you go to secrete. So I told Paul about what happened, and secretary has just been peppered throughout our conversation the entire weekend, and I'm all for it. It's the best. Sorry,
All done
DK.
with love. All done with love, DK. Right?
Absolutely. If we didn't
Voila.
love you, we wouldn't. No.
That's how it all started.
That's how
Anyways.
it all started. We're gonna talk about a couple of new figures tonight because this channel is mostly about collecting, but also hanging out with you awesome people. The shows that we're tuning in for, Bad Batch and The Mandalorian, and just some of the hijinks from this last weekend. But first, shall we say hi to Yoko? What are you drinking? Hot cocoa?
No, I
Wait.
made myself a boba tea.
Hot
tea.
cocoa for
Just straight up rum.
yeah. It's
It's
just
Moscow Mule.
Bailey's.
Yeah.
It's Bailey's. But yeah, let's. Are we live? Hit the button. I did. Can you imagine?
And I had
Couldn't
to
be the
look.
first time.
Yeah, right. Like, it wasn't even a joke or anything. I literally had to look. Yeah,
I
we
got,
are.
I
We're
got
good.
you. I just wanted to see if you guys were paying attention because it has happened before. But yeah, let's say what's up to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. If you have a second, please go ahead, hit the thumbs up, and that helps the channel. Lets YouTube know that you like what's going on here. Even though I wasn't sure if we were live yet, but then they'll think other people might like this. Let's show it to other people, and that would be very appreciated. Thank you so much. First in the chat, we have Ryan Dole, who very busy, got here early, says, I'm jumping on early, so I'm not late. And you beat out Tommy K. Awesome. Great to see both of you. Tommy, great trivia yesterday on Paul's channel. How's it going, Aaron S? Another channel member here. Thanks for being here. Dole for the win. Matt Logic 44, what's going on? I'm going to take my time with the chat. I'm taking a page out of Paul's book and really spending some time reading the messages. I am TJ Williams, fantastic member of the Butter Nation. Did a absolutely perfect mashup of the Enablers as Thundercats on the Enabler Instagram page. Go check it out. Katchin is here. Welcome back, Katchin. We missed your fact checking last week, and everything went down the drain. Lies were being told everywhere. Nobody knew any references. Nothing was right. So I'm happy to see your name back in the chat. Darth Maximus, welcome to the show. Toy Rensu, John Takus, thank you for being here. Dwayne Shoots Toys, who super cool. Not only is he talented in so many things, he was on the season finale of The Last of Us. Well, he got a cast on there, but you know, go follow his Instagram. You'll find out the whole story. Go watch his video, and you'll learn about the whole journey without me spoiling it for you here. Dwayne, congratulations and welcome. We're gonna lose is here. What's going on? We're gonna lose Nightmare Nemo, David de la Huerta, Mobile Recluse. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Says hello. RMD is here. RMD, we're getting ready to ball in San Diego, a few months away. Oh, one more.
General Kenobi.
He sounds so strained. The always supportive Stream Elements. What's going on? Mackerson watching over on Twitch. Appreciate you. D Surtles here says, hey all, I got work nearly. I'm assuming that meant early. I got work early, just dropping a like, a hello, and good night. Hey, that rhymes. Thank you, Daniel. Good to see you. Anton is here. C. Onodera says hello. Hello yourself. Welcome. From Facebook. Buenas noches. Something Facebook. Ernie and I were practicing our Spanish earlier. What was it?
El Camino. El
Something.
Mandalor.
And then Paul came in and Ernie was just mumbling it to himself. He's like, Ernie, are you drunk? El Camino.
Because he's staring at his transformer saying, El Camino. And like nothing else is like Yoko's chair was empty. Uriah was like, Ernie, have you been drinking? Like that's what it seemed like.
He was talking to this giant transformer right in front of him, like a small child.
El Camino.
I shall name you El Mandalor.
I don't know if I should be watching this.
Nobody was here yet. I was just chilling
Just-
with
you
my
just-
toy.
Back out of the stream. Maker and Geek, welcome. I think that's a new name. Plasti Addicto, Monstar. Hey, what's going on, man? Bitter Asian Dude Inc. says professional. He spelled YouTuber wrong. Ironic.
Damn autocorrect.
For the right
Technology.
reason.
It spelled it right for me.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Secretory has actually been added to my phone dictionary
Yes.
Nice.
because I've used it too much. Nightmare Nemo says Midnight 30. That's right. Midnight 30 will be back this week.
Ooh.
I'm just assuming because Yoko's back, and it should be an interesting episode, right, Yoko?
Should be. Remind me to drink extra coffee since I'm on Eastern time.
Oh,
Except I
right,
wasn't
right.
really on Eastern time, you know. I was on late Eastern time.
well, you know, it'll be a true midnight 30 because it's only 30 minutes long, apparently.
Nice.
That episode. It's supposed to be one of the shortest ever. So
That's great.
no.
For me, that's good for this week.
Well, my man Carl, he's directing it.
Yeah.
So
Carl?
Nice.
Good friend Carl.
First name basis. I'm like Carl from the Carl that we know, CCY8. No. But hey, what's up, with Carl? If you're watching, both Carls. John Carm is here. Little Boba got permanent status before falling Boba. That's a name, falling Boba. I like that one.
Mhm.
Bitter Vader 74 signing in. Thank you for being here.
What's up,
Alexander Eagleson's here. Watching from
brother?
Japan.
Ooh,
Amazing.
Japan.
Nice.
Good morning. Good morning to you. That's not Japanese. Come on. What do you think of the Jedi Survivor Story trailer? I don't know if I want to play it because the audio is going to get me in trouble, and I don't know we can talk about it briefly. Anna is here. Anna, it was so awesome hanging out with you the whole weekend. Just you're part of the gang. Like, you were just throwing out insults and digs everywhere.
Middle fingers.
That too, double at me. Oh my god.
Oh, I miss so much.
Dude, it was if you didn't know what was going on, and I think most people who witnessed it didn't know what was going on, but they would have been like, who is that foul lady? She flipped me the bird.
Oh, that's no lady. That's my wife.
Hey, you take that back. That's Kenny C3 is here. Yoko.
Sorry. El Mandalorian.
What is a secretory blanket? Well, it's more of a wipe than anything. Eric Alfred Abel, welcome. Chris Christie, does that mean we're not reviewing the episode and only doing hellos?
I'm gonna ban him.
It's a recap show without doing a recap.
Hey, look. Never mind.
CJ, apparently StreamYard doesn't have this emoji, but it's person turquoise waving. Are you turquoise?
What's up, guys?
CJ, man,
What's
it
up,
was
CJ?
CJ drove downtown to hang out with us.
I saw
he's
that
pretty
too.
far. What happened?
Oh, man.
Did you throw a cat? Or you saw CJ?
I was trying to tell her to leave, and instead she's out here in the corner going like this to my hand. Did anybody see that? Oh my God.
No.
It was adorable. I hope somebody saw it.
I'll do an instant replay after the hellos. Abracalena is here. Says, Paul, you're getting better at that, by the way. Abracalena got a replay crew it this week, but wanted to say hello. Thank you so much. You have yourself a great week as well. Kuya Kicks, another member of the Toronto Butter Nation, came out to Offworld on Saturday. Secretory is probably the secret nickname of Offworld Bar Taps. Ew. Bitter Troll, how's it going? Not here long, but hey, that's cool. Just hang out wherever you can.
I know, brother.
Torrensu says, who's from Ohio? Like
Ohio.
Like in Japanese? Ohio? Foul or foul lady? I didn't type that. I think we're caught up. Thank you everyone for being here. What happened was Paul and I were in two separate cars in the same parking lot, and a car left, and I went to reverse into it. And on the other side of the parking spot was a huge snowbank because we've had a lot of snow here. And so I was taking my time, and as the other car pulled off, it revealed another car behind it. If it was a TV show, it'd be like this car kind of like in the foreground comes, and then as it wipes across, you just reveal like on the driver's side is Paul and on the passenger side is Anna as I'm reversing into the spot. And I was like, oh crap, we're going for the same spot, but I was already in it. So it was really tight, and I had to Austin Powers and go like forward, backward, just to get like half an inch every time. Out of nowhere, I hear this honk, and I look over, and Paul is just bursting in laughter in his car, yucking it up. And what's Anna doing? She's looking at me like this.
Double barrel. Now, a little bit of context for this. We were at the craziest parking lot, I think, in Markham. Like, it's insane. It's huge, but everybody's fighting for a spot. And it doesn't help that they're gigantic snowbanks that are taking away a lot of spots. So a lot of people circling around. It's like that episode of Seinfeld where they're looking for a spot. And we were going past and we saw a car was leaving. Like, oh my God, that's great. We couldn't back up. So we had to loop around to get there. And as we loop around, that car was just pulling out. There's a minivan that's taking the spot. And I went, oh, damn it. And Anna jokingly said, wouldn't it be funny if that was Kevin? Right? And lo and behold, it was Kevin. So we start laughing because and then he does the Austin Powers bit where he's like forwards and back, like it's a 3,000 point turn. And I thought, this is funny. There's another car waiting to get through, but he's taking forever. So I honked the horn at him, and I was laughing because he freaking jumped. He was like, oh, he was so focused on trying to back in.
I didn't expect it. I thought we were friends.
Oh, that's why I honked too. That was so funny. And Anna's giving you the fingers, double barrels. And then the people in the other car, you should have seen the looks on their faces because they thought, road rage is going to be a big fight. And they were like, it was so funny. Oh my God. And they finally did get in there. The other car went by, and I think they were scared of us, so they went across. They just drove away. But we found another spot. close by.
And then they did like a double take as you drove by. Was that
David
I'm not
Suzuki?
from? No.
Do you know who I am? David Suzuki. F you. Started scratching cars, my keys.
You should have done that. And then it's like David Suzuki goes on a tear in Uptown Markham.
Yeah.
But man, we got to hang out. We had lunch. We did some toy hunting with Yoko. We went out to Pi, an amazing Thai restaurant here in Toronto, with my run by my friend Jeff and his wife Nuit, and we hung out with Gary and Dan and my friend / wife, which Paul doesn't know yet or can't seem to get right, but that was cool. That was a lot of fun. And then Toronto Comicon all day Saturday, and then had dinner with Yoko and I had dinner with some comic book creators, Jason Lowe, Jason Lapidus, David Cutler, our friend Nigel Downer, and then went to Off-World Bar with Paul and Anna, Tommy, and do we mention Tommy's
You don't remember her name, do you?
wife's name?
What's her name?
I know.
Yeah.
Should I type it to you? I don't want to say it. I don't know if she wants to be like internet mentioned.
She doesn't watch, so I think it's okay.
Oh, is that how this works?
Well,
It's
you're not doxing her or anything. It's not like you're giving out her socials and her address and
okay.
stuff.
Sandy. I knew it. Anyway, and Kuya Kicks, CJ, Bearded Builds, all those comic guys. DK showed up at halfway through, and it was crazy.
Because you needed something, or he was just there to visit?
I left my keys. I left my other shoes at home, so he brought them for me. No, it was great. Yoko, what was the best part?
Well, Bearded Builds was also there.
Mhm.
I said bearded.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh.
The bearded was also
security.
there.
He was there for security.
Yeah, the booth was kind of full, so we, him and Jay, they're both like 6'1", 6'2", so they got there late. So they both stood at the entrance of the booth, and people were like, "When did you get security?"
Of course.
So now Paul thinks I have an intern and personal security following me around.
That's great. What did you ask me?
Thanks. What was the best part? What was the best part of the trip?
Oh, best. I mean, just seeing everybody. Of course, that was the whole point. I came out to get some quality time with homies, and I got quality time with homies, and also dinner at Pi. Yeah.
And food and lots of alcohol. St. Patrick's
And
Day
that
weekend.
boba was really good that we got.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an honor to hold the door open for Paul.
Oh, Ernie, we got real boba together, and like
For
it's the best
reals?
tapioca in the city.
See, you guys all got to do this on a replay again when I finally make it out there.
We'll just
Like, but
replay
at
the whole
least-
weekend.
Yeah, but at least now you know everywhere to go, like the correct spots. Like, okay, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here.
I know where to go.
But you acted like it was like the first time there. That wasn't your first time there?
In
No, I'm
Toronto?
saying we all went.
No,
Three of
Kevin, at the boba. Oh, just saying that all three of you actually went and
Oh.
had real boba and got boba
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't
So
had
next
boba
time
since
you must join us.
Florida. Yeah.
I absolutely did say bearded builds. I'm pretty sure.
I thought I heard him.
What was it? Oh, the absolute honor of opening the door
Yeah.
for Paul. There was
It
just a fan who saw
It was
Paul.
a fan. Yeah. And it was an
I think
honor
it
for
was-
him to hold the door open for Paul. So we mentioned that a couple times after that happened.
Paul, do you
Just a
make
couple
your way uptown often, or is there just a lot more
No.
Paul Sun-hyung Lee sightings uptown lately? Just gracing
No,
us
just
with your
lately.
presence.
The only reason I go up north is to be with you guys. So
Nice.
Markham is
By the way, up north is only like 25 minutes by the highway.
by the highway.
He makes it sound like it's hours, but yeah, you graced us all with your presence, and it was such an honor. You honored everyone.
Wow. Wow. The shade.
No,
It's
you
just a
actually
tinge of
did.
jealousy, I think. No one held the door with honor for me. You seem
He had a
so genuinely put out by
secretary.
that.
He
No
had a
one's ever done
security,
that.
but nobody opened the door for him.
Yeah, DK
So that's
opened
why-
the door.
That's why we did it. Where I was holding the door open, and Yoko went through. I said, "It's an honor to hold the door for you," and Anna went through. It's an honor. right? And then Kevin went through, and I didn't say anything. And somebody else went through, and then Gary went through, and it's an honor. And then Kevin was like, "What about me?" And I knew it at that moment. He was jealous. No.
That's awesome.
No, that'd be a good soundbite to have. Would be a great soundbite to have. Yeah, well, it was a lot of fun. And right before we get into the next thing, Yoko and I were at. Also have a mouthful of tapioca in my mouth, so if I sound a little bit muffled. But we were at Comicon, Toronto Comicon, and we were intended to line up to see Andy Serkis, and there was like 60 people at his table, probably. And I'm like, is that the lineup? Because it doesn't seem so bad. And the lady said, oh, you need to get tickets, and then you can come back. So it's like in waves. So it wasn't even just those people that I saw. So I was like, that's crazy. And then Emily Swallow was right next to him, and I had her Black Series figure with me, and I planned on getting a photo or autograph there too. So we went up, and we did the selfie, and Yoko was wearing her Carson Teva t-shirt, collage shirt, and how did you bring up Paul, Yoko? Did you just point to the shirt, or you're like, we know this guy?
You mean the giant Carson Teva face on my shirt wasn't enough? I was like, hey, you know this guy, right? And so then I told her, she was like, oh yeah, it was so nice to meet him at the premiere last week or whenever that was. And she said, so I told her that we did a little show with you, Paul, and she was excited to hear about that. And she seemed really into the conversation until Kev did something.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
first she was like, people unboxing is strange to me. That's what she said. She's like, I don't know why someone would sit there and watch it.
People unbox things.
Yeah. Oh, I had mentioned that you were so excited about the premiere that you were supposed to do an unboxing stream, and you didn't do the unboxing, and you just talked about the premiere the whole time. And she's like, unboxing what? I'm like, oh, like, toys. Like she had a Black Series figure on her table, so I'm like, stuff like that. And she was like, I don't understand that. Like, why do people, I guess it's not of interest to her. But we talked about the podcast and Boba Squadron, and how you guys weren't a fan of my armorer voice, so she asked me to do it. So, Yoko, do you want to demonstrate what her reaction was?
Oh, sure.
Once we start the
line. Are you
so
gonna do it?
Yoko's gonna be Emily Swallow, so I'm gonna look this way. So I looked at her and I was just like, have you ever removed your helmet? And then what's that term where you just kind of pull back?
It's a recoil.
Recoil.
Repulsed? Yeah.
Well, she was repulsed. And then I'm like, no good? And then she kind of looked at me with this kind of like, why did you make the voice go so high?
Yeah, she's like, why did you pitch up so high?
And you could have just done it in this voice.
Then she mimicked it. She did it the way Kev does it.
Oh, what?
It was the best. It was the best.
Serious?
She's like, sometimes when I'm there, I'll do different voices. I'll do silly voices. So I said, what's the silliest voice you've done? And she pauses and she looks at me and she's like, well, that one. The one you just did. And she goes, all right, next time I'm gonna do that again. And then I made a joke that, like, Paul would be there, be like, how did Kevin get here? You hear it in the background. So yes, for the chat wondering, I did do my Mrs. Doubtfire armorer's voice for Emily Swallow.
And she was horrified. That's the short version of the story.
And I'm with Tommy. She was calling for security right after.
That's when he got banned.
She was great. She would have kept talking to us forever if a guy with a giant toothbrush wasn't behind us.
Giant toothbrush?
Yeah.
Literally a giant toothbrush?
Yeah, I think he was someone from Fairly Odd Parents or something. I don't know. He had a giant toothbrush.
I don't even know what that is.
I only know that because somebody asked him if he was Waldo, and he was like, no, I'm from Fairly Odd Parents.
I thought he was Mario, like Super Mario.
Wow.
And he have like a red shirt and overalls?
Yeah.
Oh.
And a giant toothbrush.
I love that. He got all huffy that nobody recognized him.
Yeah.
And then he was all gatekeeping because he was like, no, obviously it's this.
Yoko said he wasn't. He was just waiting to chat when there was free time. Like he didn't even.
hey?
Yeah, he was like, I just wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah, here it is. That's
Is that the guy? No. Just kidding. Can you imagine?
it was
That's
Gary.
Gary. We
Yeah.
love him. GL Faraday, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That's funny.
And yeah, that was we took a couple of photos. It was bad when the assistant was like, not my assistant, one of the people who help out the con. Like, how do you zoom on this camera? I'm like, just take 2 steps forward.
Closer.
Step closer. The good old fashioned way. She's like, yeah, that was us down at Comicon. This is us at Offworld. I was hoping there would be a Sarlacc decoration and not a Rancor. It would have been nice, but you know,
Sarlacc decoration was full. Some guy named Boba was hogging it the whole night.
Oh,
it's just the lower half with the legs flinging.
That's right.
Oh, that would be great, actually.
Robot legs kicking out. That's dope.
Plasty says DK was there. No, DK was not taking the photo. What do you mean, your assistant? I said not my assistant. It's not about.
He meant secretary.
Not an assistant. But yes,
Assistant. That's an assistant. What do you mean your assistant? Oh, I love this. Is gold. DK, I love you.
DK Paul's
You're the
been showing his sports love.
secretary and the assistant to the secretary. Right? Are you the secretary's assistant? Or the assistant to the secretary's assistant?
Two different positions.
This is awesome. I love this.
2 different positions. That is just poor phrasing or intentional. Good job, Ernie.
Thanks.
Either way,
Thanks.
Corinne's here. Good to see you.
Yay.
Hi, babe.
Toy wise, Hasbro announced a Black Series. What's this dude's name?
Axe Wolves.
Tuscan.
200th
Again.
version of Axe Wolves.
Bitter Asian dude.
That's
This is the Tuscan Chieftain from Book of Boba Fett. I think we all really like the look of that, but you know, it's just being announced now.
2 years after the series is concluded, they're releasing a figure for it, which is just
it's announced a
snagging
year
the
after, and they
So you still have a chance, Paul.
I still got a chance. 2065.
That's when I'll get my Mezco Batman. But they have this in Black Series, and I believe there is also one for the Vintage Collection. I'll probably get a Vintage Collection version. I know. Oh, this isn't. Sorry, it's not the same. It's not the Chieftain. It is just a Tuscan Warrior. Hold on, let me get it.
Oh, it's got a slightly different paint pattern.
Not the clothes are different.
Oh, you mean for the vintage?
This is this is the Vintage Collection 3.75 scale.
Looks like the female warrior.
The one that was like a total badass and climbed on top of the train. Yeah. That would be the one.
Warrior.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I thought she had a name. I thought she was credited with a name.
I thought she survived that thing.
I don't even remember.
Like, it was just, it was weird. I don't know.
I would rather her for a Black Series.
The Chieftain should have come with the nose slug.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been cool.
Opportunities.
But that would be an accessory. Anyway, those are some new. Hasbro is doing a Mando Mania reveal every Tuesday, I believe, for the as the Mandalorian show goes on. So we have some new toy news to look forward to. Anyone grabbing any Tuscans in either scale?
No.
Pass.
Wow.
But looks cool.
I will get a Vintage Collection, and that's it.
If I win one, I'll take it.
Oh, speaking of winning, you should have watched the show on Thursday. Someone won Walla XD, a 3-pack.
A 3-pack?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah,
and there were gifteds.
That would have been dope. Dude, I wouldn't have I would have got so yelled at by Chamba. I wouldn't have been able to accept it.
That's
Chamba
how you
would have
renew
just been on me
every month. Bearded Builds has been a YouTube channel member for 17 months. My goodness.
Nice.
Thank you, Bearded. The whole squad is back together. Hell yeah. And dude, thank you so much for coming out and the whole party, it's only made possible with everyone who shows up. So everyone who was there, including Peter, it was a heck of a night at Offworld, and a group of amazing people that joined us.
You should
I
check
didn't
your
have any.
Twitch notifications.
I should check my Twitch notifications. Oh, live in love, Ida, Yoko. I'm kidding. Resub for 1 month at subscribe for 22 months. My goodness.
Wow.
Thank you, Yoko. Have we been friends for that long?
I mean, I guess so.
Almost 2 years. What?
Yeah, that sounds about right. No, it's been longer than that. You weren't on Twitch right away, were you?
No, I don't think so. Ernie, how did it go over at Disney?
I was just there. No, we had a good day. It was awesome. I kind of missed some stuff. So there was supposed to be the announcement of Indiana Jones reopening that day, and when I kept looking on my app, it kept saying that it was closed, so I didn't go over there. But lo and behold, it was open. So that really sucks.
Oh, that's
I didn't
weird.
get to ride it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all day. It wasn't in the app because we were actually there early. Corinne went to go meet a friend that day. We actually both had the day off together, so we rolled over there. And then we went to, because I thought they were going to do a soft opening of Toontown, and they did it. They did it the next day.
Of course.
So yeah, of course, all the time. So we didn't get to see
bouncer.
that, but it was cool. It was a lot of fun. There is a Star Wars announcement though. Star Wars month will be from May to June, and they're going to switch back over Space Mountain to oh crap, what's it called? Yeah, Hyperspace Mountain.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's always fun. I like when they have that one. So but this is like the first time that they've actually called it a Star Wars month. So I'd also like to see what's going to be happening there. They're going to have Star Wars nights during the month of May. I think there's like 4 or 6 nights, and then now they're calling it Star Wars month. So I'll definitely be there for that, and hopefully more info will be given out soon. But that's it. I was just at home watching your guys' stories on your page and sitting here. I ran to the gas station and got some fake boba, pretended like it was real.
Just poured some Skittles into Arizona iced tea.
Yeah. I saw your guys take the picture with the Rancor. So then I grabbed my old 70s one. I put it behind me, but it didn't come out the same. And yeah.
Aw.
It just wasn't the same. But
And then
maybe
you
It wasn't
knock
the
down
same,
your
Ernie.
knock down your Paul Shrine, trying to get the rank
No,
out.
I did not. That's safe. That's on the other side. So it was totally safe. Yeah. But no, I've been totally busy, man. I like I said, I was unable to make it Thursday or Sunday to anybody's. I barely made the shows I was on this week. So I can't wait to get back to normal here soon. I feel like I just need a day to go over stuff and try and get back, because I mean, it was like vacation, came back right into stuff and kept rolling on day by day by day. So it's like I just need a day.
Plus, he says you were there in spirit.
Thanks, Plasty, because of you. I was.
Oh my gosh. Gary's here. Gary, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us and putting up with our silliness the whole weekend.
Putting up with me.
Putting up with our Yoko is what I meant to say. Putting up with our Yoko.
Yeah.
Anton asked, well, that jumped. That's not Anton. What's the best boba in the GTA? The one we went to is in Times Square up here in Markham. Let me see if they can zoom.
Oh, you went back there today?
Oh, my wife went for me.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Xing Fu Tang here in Uptown, Markham. The tapioca balls are sitting on like a big wok all day long, overheat, and it stays, and they stir it. This is me stirring the boba. That's what they do. And it just kind of stir it with this giant thing. It keeps it all soft and delicious.
Yeah,
all
because your
day.
boba is supposed to be soft and delicious, you guys.
Yes.
Oh,
Not Skittles, Ernie.
yeah.
Not-
Or choking on it.
Not chewy. Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right. That is good to know.
I had a
Yoko,
Star
I
Wars
gotta
purchase.
know, what is your
Huh.
sweater fit today? Because you always have the dopest shirts. That's what I thought it was. Where did you get that one?
A couple years ago.
That's dope.
Do you need full
Yeah,
screen?
I like
No,
that.
this is probably enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's sparkly.
that's
It is sparkly.
Yeah, I thought it was an ad though.
Yeah.
That's awesome. There's so much in the Star Wars store. Speaking of the Star Wars shirts and Disney, like I can't even like put out pictures of it anymore because it's constantly changing, and once it's there, it's gone. So like we could see something, you know how we're there like every other Friday and sometimes, you know, maybe twice a week. There's definitely like new shirts and new styles. They're going on like this new type of thing though of like I don't know. The shirts actually look weird. I'll have to get a pic of the one next time and tell you guys what I'm talking about. But
Is it because they're cropped? Like the Woman of Star Wars one only comes in cropped?
really?
Yeah.
I didn't even
This
notice
month.
that.
This month of all months.
That's a weird move, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know?
And then I saw a huge shirt, which I mean huge for me, because sometimes they do larger sizes. This one was huge, like extra long and everything, and it was R2. And I was like, dang, should I rock that? And then I look over and there's a Boba one. And I was like, sweet. Well, then I'll get Boba. He was all like full length of the shirt,
I
standing
thought you were
up.
going to say chest pockets.
No. And then when I went and I grabbed the Boba one and I put it up to the R2, it was like that much shorter. And I was
Oh.
like, okay, one of these things is not like the other. And it's the same style of shirt. So yeah, Yoko, I don't know what's going on over there right now with all their difference. And that's why I haven't got one either, like posted them, because they all do look kind of weird right now. I don't even know how to describe it, but we'll see.
It's all good. All good.
I'll have to
All
show
right.
you.
Wait,
yeah.
my Star Wars purchase.
Oh, yes.
This just came out a week or two ago, but it's Jedi Battle Scars. It's a novel that takes place between the two
Ooh.
games.
The cover
Oh,
looks so
dope.
good. I
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
buy books based on how good the cover looks. Like the old saying, only buy books based on how good the cover looks. That looks
Right.
awesome.
See, and I'm thinking that'd be a
No.
dope shirt.
Oh, this.
Paul
They,
disagrees.
they missed an opportunity. Jedi Battle Scars should be a picture of the second sister's boot heel coming towards your face, because that's all that game was to me. Those are my Jedi Battle Scars. Oh, look, she's gonna kick me in the face again.
This takes place after.
Yes,
I read a few chapters of it, and it's fun so far. But it definitely has like a YA voice to it, you know. So I think that I was a little worried about the reviews I saw on Amazon, especially. But then I'm like, oh wait, it's a Star Wars book written by a woman, so of course people are going to hate it, right? But I think it's the tone is young adult, so I think that's what's throwing people off with it too. I think they're expecting like an adult novel, and it's definitely written for young adults. So just keep that in mind. But it's gonna be fun.
All right.
And,
That's
bridge
out
the gap until the game.
April 23rd,
I was gonna say 8th.
28th.
I don't know, 20 something.
The numbers are similar because halvesies. So
Well, you said
know,
there was a new trailer, or is that the final trailer for the game or something that just dropped?
there's a new trailer that came
Yeah.
out, I think,
Just
today.
Oh,
Um,
today.
Looks fun.
We'll do that at the end if we have time. Sound good? Let's get to the episodes real quick. If you haven't watched The Bad Batch or Mandalorian yet, it's been a week. I'm not gonna apologize for this anymore. Spoilers are happening now. MC says, Kevin, where'd you get your Space Jam and Scarface sweater? Scarface was from H&M. This Space Jam one is from RetroKid. RetroKid.ca is a Canadian clothing brand. They got some really
They got
cool
dope
licenses on there, like Care Bears, like the Grumpy Bear that I got for Yoko, and they have a whole bunch of stuff. So go check out RetroKid. Awesome dudes. And one of the co-founders, Eric Bauza, is the voice of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and a whole bunch of voices. Really, really cool voice actor. All right, here we go. We're gonna do Bad Batch is gonna take 5 minutes. Like start the clock, and give it like a 2-minute grace period, man. This episode called Pabu, I believe. I don't even know what to say. Now the gang, after the last episode, they're running around with Fee and kind of looking for artifacts, like a Dr. Aphra style thing, but I guess liberating them. And she's working with the Bad Batch now, and they kind of go Cat's upset. 5 minutes. I'm being generous.
4.
Four.
No.
Sorry. Cat's like 5. I gotta go. Like, I don't have time. But yeah, she finds out that they've severed ties with Sid. Well, not officially, because it
Well, you
seems
jumped
like
that whole opening there's got to be. Let's come on.
Yeah, but I gave you
The
3
whole-
points, and one of them was about the opening.
Come on. The whole homage at this beginning the
Yes.
throwback to Temple of Doom was friggin' great. There are little Easter eggs in there. At the beginning of Temple of Doom, if you look at the sign, it's Club Obi-Wan that they're there, right? They try to poison Indy. There's a lot of homage happening there. They try to poison Fee. And the club's name in the Bad Batch is Club Lao She, which is the name of the guy, the bad guy at the beginning of Temple of Doom. So there's some nice sort of cross-play happening there. You got to dig deep because it is written in Arabic outside, but it's so I like that. Just the whole tone right away from the beginning. It was just like, oh, they're doing a riff on the beginning of Temple of Doom.
Oh, I didn't get any of that. Sorry.
I thought you've seen it though, right?
Huh?
Yoko,
I
you've
have
seen
the
it?
wrong way. I've seen it.
Yep. It's still the wrong way. That was just your other hand.
I know. I just realized that.
You went,
I realized that, but it was too late.
Me with the finger hurts. I'll
Yeah.
get them one day. One day I'll get them. There you go. I don't know.
That's
My elbows. Yeah. So there's that whole, which I really appreciated that. Like that's a sense of fun. There's a deep cut if you're an indie nerd. With the Star Wars stuff too. It was really neat. Like that whole poison thing was great. How she was able to pick it up, and the fact that Omega is right there front and center. Like she caps somebody with a little bow and arrow. Like she kills a dude, right? So it's just like okay.
Well, she knocked the thing down to trap the guy.
Yeah. But
Like-
she also zapped the guy too with her bow,
But
like right.
yeah.
And she grabbed the money. She got the credit. So she's really, really coming into her own.
Yeah.
Which I love. She's not like robbing the boy hostage where he's always getting kidnapped by the Joker. She is sort of really becoming a contributing, and through necessity. They're down to two members, right? Because Echo's gone, and Crosshair's been gone for a while, but now it's just like the 3, it's 3 plus her. So now there's just 4 instead of 6. And so I love that she's had to sort of take these big steps. And this episode also does reflect on the fact that she's been living with these dudes for too long. Nobody her age, nobody with a diverse DNA for her to just sort of be a kid type thing. And remember at the beginning, that's all Hunter was saying. She's a kid. She needs to have a normal life and this and that. Now all of a sudden she's totally integrated into the team. And it takes like Fee to say, maybe she needs a different environment. So I think the beginning, we shouldn't gloss over it. I think it's a really, really great setup. And yeah, this episode pace wise wasn't popping, but I think it kind of needed that. They're setting up that idea of home, serenity, peace, right? And of course there has to be some sort of major freaking disaster. Yeah, right? 'Cause that's why it's called the Bad Batch. The Bad Luck Batch is what they should call it.
oh,
But yeah, so there you go. I mean, I just love that opening. Even the music, and I'm usually blind to music. Now, that sounds really stupid saying that, blind to music. I really don't notice the music a lot. So it is in my blind spot. I don't, but this one for me was like, oh, you know what? A lot of the themes are carrying through. So they are. It's like, oh, look, they found some place they love and they can invest in it. And it's all peaceful. And
The
it's
Empire's
going to
gonna
be a
come.
smoking crater.
Yeah.
So
which I get. There has to be some episodes and some points of the story to set up something else. It's just this was when you watch it 1 week after another, it's more apparent than when you are able to watch something all together at once. Which I'm not talking crap about it. It's just I wasn't as big of a fan of this episode as the others. But the part where Tech was flying the plane. And and Fee was saying, she needs to hang out with other kids her age that aren't like clones. And Tech's like, what? We were raised like that, and we're fine. And she's like, yeah, we better go do something about that. So it takes them to this island, which is her little getaway. Oh, and of course, yes, while they're en route, Sid leaves a hologram voicemail.
Nice threat.
Even when they have holograms, people are still leaving voicemails. That's so annoying because I don't even check my voicemails now. But yeah, she clearly based on what she's saying, they haven't talked. She hasn't heard from the Bad Batch. They've ghosted her for. By the way, what is a rotation to you? Is it a day, a month, a year?
I thought it was a day.
Yeah,
just a day. Okay,
I think so.
If it's weeks, that's really like 20 rotations. If you figure, close estimation is 3 weeks versus like 3 or 4 months.
20 years.
They were counting rotations in Andor too, right? Like
yeah.
Okay, just wanted to confirm.
In jail.
Ketchin says it's a day. I'm looking at that.
Oh, Michael is turning 36 today.
Yeah, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yay.
You feel it now? Oh boy. Oh boy.
It only gets worse.
Yes. Well, anyway, happy birthday and many more rotations to you.
Absolutely.
And there's some not so subtle threats. You better be dead because your absence has cost me a few scores. Again, she just kind of sees them as tools to get money, kind of like how the Empire sees the rest of the clones. They're just units that they don't.
She said something. What did she say? She said something that was worded in a way where I feel like she was making it clear that she didn't care about the guys. It was Omega that would be the bait.
Really?
Because she said, what did she say? Because she said something like "you boys" or like she said something.
She said, "You boys." I noticed that too. She didn't mention Omega at all. It was very much like I know about you. Yes.
It's more than just you boys or like something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then from the previous episode, we know that that Kaminoan was kind of tipped off the Empire scientist about finding the girl. So, Sid has that information. We go to this little planet that could be a little getaway for them or hiding spot. So definitely an episode setting up something for the future. Dang, we went past 5 minutes. Yoko said she wanted a screenshot of this monkey. Yoko. Omega makes a friend on this island. There's some water that moves around and causes tragedies. And
oh my god. Really?
I think doing this way is better because when you feel outraged that I skipped over it, you're going
just to the credits, man.
Some water that's moving.
It's not even
tragedy.
Oh my god.
Was there more Indiana Jones references that I missed?
No, it's just like it's character. They're setting it up. Look, there how many episodes are left? After there's like 3 episodes left, right? After this,
that's what she said. You do well to not assume I am just threatening you boys.
You boys. She's also threatening somebody else.
Right.
Oh,
So
Omega.
and that's the veiled thing against Omega. Don't think I'm just threatening you boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've got Omega.
Right.
So yeah, there's that it's very subtle. It's there. And I love how she's turning on them.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of like, oh, maybe she does have a heart of gold. And like, no, she's pretty awful.
Yeah.
Right. And as soon as they're not willing to sort of kowtow to whatever she wants, then you see her true colors. And once a Trandoshan, always a Trandoshan. Fee even says
I didn't say that.
Wow.
Whoa.
I didn't say that. Yeah. I like Sid. She's just probably in a bad place right now. That's all.
She's threatening
That's
children.
Good. Yeah.
Do you remember what Anna said at Pi about? It's like, was it also racist?
No.
No, we'll save that for the
for later.
after show. Let's see. Do I have more here?
Yeah.
What else did I miss?
Look,
like
okay.
Look, it's Moana. Did you watch Moana yet, Paul?
No, I have not. I was too busy getting drunk with you.
That's true.
There's a what the hell was that?
It's Moana, sorry. said
That was
Moana.
like
I had to
Of
do
course
it.
it was you. Of course. Playing with the Transformers, hugging, humming show tunes, telling stories.
Mandalore.
El Mandalor. Yeah,
They left me behind.
they did.
They left me
Well,
behind.
what
Everybody.
else is there? The water moves up
What are
and
you gonna
down.
do?
They decide it
No,
gets
they're
destroyed.
setting up this place as a home for them.
Yeah,
It's
I
idyllic.
was getting to
They
it.
had that
They're
whole
going
bit
to
where, like,
stay to help and
when they're
build
there,
it.
Fee flirting with Tech, right? Like that
Okay,
whole
so there
sort of-
was
wait.
something there,
a little
right?
bit of something there.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Record going, oh, you got some competition now,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Like everybody knows.
That
Can we
moment
get the
Oh,
record
that's
voice
what
again?
Wrecker was about. I didn't
You know?
get what Wrecker was talking about.
with the sea monkeys, where they're laughing, and then he says, and Tech says, I've not heard a laugh like that in a long time. It's like, wow, even the robot got it. Right. So it's what, like, setting up them. That's a potential home that they want to go to. Everybody on this island is a refugee, they say, right? The stuff that Fee is getting has no monetary value, but it has a tremendous amount of sentimental and emotional value.
Mhm.
This is someplace where people from all walks of life, they're not native to, but they're making it into their home. And this is someplace where I think it's important that the Bad Batch, for the first time, they're like, maybe this is someplace that we could, and they decide to stay there. Of course, it takes a natural disaster for them to realize this, and the fact that they had to, I know, in the span of minutes, evacuate everybody on the lower half into the top. I found that a bit, like, they dropped 3 rescue ladders, and that made the difference.
That
of
part was
saving-
cool. It had
Right.
some like Lord of the Rings vibes to it.
There's a lot of people.
Getting up.
I think the
Wondering if that was faster than like running around, though. Climbing.
yeah,
I think it
everyone just
cleared up
bottlenecked there.
the yeah, I think it cleared up the bottleneck there.
I guess.
That it was,
Well, definitely.
they wouldn't have done it so efficiently that then people could start climbing those 3 ladders, and it cleared up the area for people to continue around the corner. I think the biggest part, though, was that she has never shown this place to anybody. Not even Sid knows this.
Yeah.
So I think
Nobody
that was
trusted, though. Right.
correct. Right. I think this was the biggest one. And I think she really is trying to give Omega a life, along with her
Yeah.
boyfriend and his 2 brothers. Like, she's like, all right, if I got to take everybody in. But I saw that with them, too. And then, like, they were sitting next to each other at dinner, like, automatically when they ate.
cheersing each other, and she refilled his glass.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right?
So there's something. Yeah. And even if Tech don't know it, she knows it. But yeah, there's definitely. But I think that was the biggest thing, is that reveal of, nobody's been here. And then just for her to go out on the boat and everything was it felt very video gamey. Like we were seeing cutscenes from a video game, but it still played out really good. Like I enjoyed it because you automatically think this is going to be their home. And then how they said we'll stay and everything. Oh, and what was the other one? Wrecker said that he was finally full.
Yeah. I shall make a
Yeah.
note of this time and the date.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that Tech had a device at the dinner table.
Oh, still. Yeah.
It's like,
Ernie, your lighting looks amazing today, or your camera looks clearer.
I have I've always turned my light down, and then that's where the glare of my glasses are, but I'll probably never be able to wear contacts again because of my eye. So I've just been messing with it.
You're
See,
glowing.
watch. I am glowing
look-
too much.
you
But
look
then
good.
look, there go my eyes. They're gone. And I have the screen turned like all the way down. So
That looks good, though.
thanks.
Does that not work for you?
It's very bright.
Oh.
And I do feel like that. I feel like I need to go to the powder room and
He's
get
like,
my
I can
bald
see
head.
the
Oh,
back of my
glow is a
eyeball."
good thing.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Good.
I think
You want to glow.
I'm trying here.
Yeah.
I think Sid's going to be in play here too. Right? Now the Empire's going to raise it. How do they find it? I think Sid's going to tip him off. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Gonky.
Oh,
What?
the Gonky. They're gonna.
I
track
think
the
that's how
Gonky
she's gonna find
signal?
them. Yeah,
tracking
just
device.
how they did before. Is that's
When
what
she
she's
was
gonna
stolen?
use?
Oh,
Yeah.
and that was like a setup storyline of
Yeah.
how. Okay, is that an
Yeah.
Ernie theory?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I think so because it is right. This island's not supposed to be able to be found, and then that was in the other episode of how did they find the ship? Well, because of Gonky. So I think she can do the exact same thing and find them when the time is right. So,
Gotcha.
and for her to give them up. And I think that's what's going to be the biggest conflict is she's really going to show that she doesn't care. She's going to give them right up for her take. And then that was it. And I think, but that's her big falling out for everybody, from Fee, from them, from everything. And it's going to show she really doesn't care. So we'll see. And I don't think she's going to redeem herself either. You know, one of those, I gave them up. How could you do that? And she's going to be the one to say, I don't think so. I think it's going to be plain right across of, yeah, I gave them up. So
Plain heel turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big time.
I just want to say what's up to Captain Jack and Toy Box of Doom tuning in. Happy Monday. Any other things you spotted in this episode before I move on to the Mandalorian? Catchin agrees. That means we can move along. Hey, Alfredo. Welcome. All right. The Mandalorian.
Yeah, Kat, did we miss anything?
She's
Gotta
like,
give her that 30-second delay.
Actually. Crosshair needs to show up and Crosshair Sid. Okay. You know, we still need to see. He got 2 episodes. How's he going to come back into the story? Maybe not at all. Or
It's 3 episodes.
do you have 3 episodes?
Wednesday, and then there's 2 on the 29th.
No, I mean like Crosshair centric episodes. He got 2 himself, right?
Yes.
Are the Bad Batch in Batu yet? Like as actors? Oh, hey, Micro Galaxy Squadron.
No, but they're in different timeline, huh? In Batu. If
they're
Boba
still alive.
because Boba and Fennec are running around, and Mando.
Boba, Fennec, and Mando, and it's been a while since I've seen them actually, so that's always
really?
disappointing. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Kat. Time is
should
up.
be a big hit.
Time is up.
Time's up.
We just finished typing this huge
Paragraph.
We went well over.
That sucks.
Following the cliffhanger from last week's episode, where who wasn't here last week? Yoko wasn't here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you have a quick? Do you want to give us 5 minutes on what you thought of this episode? Oh, the previous episode.
The previous episode.
Yeah. Not really.
I'm trying to remember what happened. The big thing for me was I thought he got pulled under, right? And then I guess that's really more. Is that really more this episode or last episode?
Yeah, that was
was last episode. I still feel the same way, but there is a lot of people who are saying, no, he fell. I mean, he did.
But he said
there was no floor.
Punched my desk. He said he fell.
Yeah. It's Hunter gets referred to as Mega's father twice with no blinks of an eye.
Yep,
that's true.
Father, brother.
He accepts it. Father, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Paul, that was one of the things we discussed last week,
so
right?
wrong,
how the armor wouldn't be that heavy. You know, if you can fly around in it, it wouldn't be that heavy that it would just take you all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
That fast
but then
on its own.
We spoke of as well, it's not only the armor, we realized it's the boots and the robe, like his flight suit underneath and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So that adds. I still think he fell really fast, though.
Yeah.
Like he had a rock attached to him. That's why, I mean, Bo-Katan, who pretty much dove in right after he went under, she had to use her jetpack to catch up to him. And even then, he was still right at the bottom. So I don't know. That it felt like to me, he'd been pulled under. He says, I just fell. Right, like I just got, I just fell, but
that he got pulled.
Maybe he doesn't realize it. That's what
I have a theory to that too.
Oh no,
but it has to come at the end. Yeah. Oh, Matt, that has to do with my theory.
Sparkly water.
Oh, it is the living waters. It does react. It is reactive to Beskar because it's in the mines, right? Where Beskar's mined.
I'm just gonna say my theory. Okay, so the theory is we see the armor use this same water that he gets, right? So how is she getting this supply? Yeah. I think her and Heavy Mando, what's his name? Paz.
Paz Vizsla.
Yes, I think they know that it's clear, and they may know of the mythosaur, and the whole thing to send him down there to get redeemed could have been because like the mythosaur is going to eat you or attack you or something. Because she has had plenty of supply of the water in order to be making stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too, because she poured it into the. She's been
Yeah.
pouring that same vial in, and it's like, at what point does she run
Yes.
out?
So
Right?
that's exactly what I thought when he had to prove himself.
Right.
So I'm like, was it a trap that, you know, she was maybe surprised that he came back? Not only that, but he comes back with Bo, but I'm just saying. That's my theory is maybe they've been going there and getting the water. They know, and it was supposed to take him out. And unfortunately, it didn't.
But why would they want to take him out?
That because of the saber, because of
Do they,
who he is. He keeps coming around saving the day, right? And maybe like uniting
Oh,
more.
The theory just kind of bottomed out there. The reasoning behind it wasn't great.
For heavy, maybe, but I don't see that with the armor. And I'm not
Yeah.
just saying that because she's
We
our
still
friend now.
don't know who the hell she is, and that's bugging me
She's our
because when they
friend.
saw each other, I wanted like, oh God, I wanted Bo to be like, "What's up, Bertha?" And like, I wanted them to call her like their names, like you
Yeah.
know, this history. They've been talking crap about each other.
Yeah, but
They
I mean,
literally-
just because that's what you want and you don't get it doesn't mean it's bad. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the cry for everybody who wants to complain about something that didn't. It's like that's not how I want it to go, and it's like no, it's going in a different direction, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's going to be answered later on. Like I get it too, because
It
I
could
was
still
thinking, like,
happen.
is this the water? Like what's going on here? It's like how's she replenishing it?
yes.
Do they know that? Because they were telling Din Djarin, she said, you know, it's impossible now. You can't get it because the mines have been destroyed. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. Everybody thinks the planet is cursed and uninhabitable, right? Bo-Katan, her people, they think the planet is cursed. It's unlivable. No one's tried to go back there, right?
It's weird that
So
nobody
maybe
tried.
the armorer is more aware of it and has got a supply or something like that. I heard a theory somewhere where they knew that the planet was okay, but they want like that particular clan, the Children of the Watch. They want the Mandalorians to stay nomadic. They don't want them to go back to Mandalore, right?
Oh.
So they're perpetuating that whole idea that it's cursed because they think the Mandalorians are better off being nomadic. Like I've heard that theory too. They were on what was the name of the planet? That the moon of not
Concordia?
Corvus, Concordia. The moon of Concordia. Like that's why they survived the purge, right? The Night of 1,000 Tears, because they were already separate
Because they were there
from
Yeah.
everybody else, right? So, I mean, there is, I think, some value to that theory, but she's gone off and said to Din Djarin, look, you can't be redeemed. This is, you know, the mines are destroyed. That's the only way you can do it. And she's like, well, I'm going to go do it. And then when he comes back and they do the test, immediately they're accepted back. It's like, well, you did it. And no sense of regret in what she said when she accepted him back. She's like, you've been redeemed. You, Bo-Katan, have you taken off your helmet? She's like, I don't walk away. It's like, well, if you haven't taken off your helmet, you're part of us too, as long as you want to stay here for. And
I
right
like
away,
that part.
what's that?
I like that part.
Yeah, and then right away, everybody's like, cool, one of us, one of us. And they're
Not
all
everybody,
happy.
not all of them.
Well, I know Paz is standing back there going,
Uh-huh. We
Right.
need to see his face.
But
Wow, so we just totally skipped ahead to the end.
I know. We went to the end of this episode
then,
faster
we
than
have to
our
talk
bad batch.
about the whole hour
Yeah.
middle part first,
We'll
right?
go
So
back. We'll go back.
yeah, we'll go back to that.
We'll
but
start over. Let's start over.
I think
again.
Paz Vizsla too. He still has designs. I mean, when he saw Din Djarin in the Book of Boba Fett, he had the dark saber.
Designs?
Like right away, he was like, "I challenge you,"
Oh yeah,
and they went.
that's my family.
So obviously, I think she still got designs, and he's not pleased. But he's also shown himself to be of righteous character in a sense that, you know, when he in the season 1 of The Mandalorian, when they had vibroblades to each other's throats, right? Despite their differences, he still steps up and helps the covert sort of protect Din Djarin because that's the way,
That's true.
right? He keeps all these things. He calls him apostate, kicks him out, and he might not be happy with it, but he still follows those rules. He has enough integrity and honor to sort of fulfill that and kind of go, okay, he'll still do it. So
No, this one was my fault.
What the hell? No, that's awesome. No, that's true. And you don't hear that in the armor's voice really at the end. It was just like very plain, like, okay, you're back in. Maybe that's just really good voice acting. And that's what I've been working on. All right, so back to this. Pulled down, not pulled down into the living waters. Still not sure. Maybe the armor's been mixing it with, like, you know, the Dasani 5 filtered 5 times bottled water, and it just makes it more potent. So she's been stretching her supply of water the last 3 years that somebody mentioned. She's been
reclaiming it. Yeah. Like she pours it in and she can like water reclamation, right? Spaceships do it, right? Like if you go to if you use the they have a word for it now, the toilets. What is
secretory?
It? Yeah, the secretory room.
Reclaimed water
with the assistant. No, God, the mithril. He says I got to use the thing in the first thing.
The refresher.
Refresher? Is that what it is?
Yes,
I think he says refresher. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so that's
they say that
the
in
thing,
Rebels
right?
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's in space. That's what they do. They reclaim water. All these things that you need, right? So maybe she's doing that with the waters, living waters.
Brent W says, assume they were just toting the sacred keg around from place to place and keeping.
That's what I see too. Or like those big bins
sacred
where
keg.
People show up and wash your car or your truck and those big things of water. That's all they have on one of the ships. They're like, before we go, we need to fill this up.
Hey, Cap Lives, Matthew Toy was here. Thank you for tuning in. Aiden Skate, NYC Figure Fanatic. Okay, so that was like the first screenshot. It was like a 10-minute recap of the last episode. Perfect.
Sorry.
Perfect. No, that's good because we saved all the time from the Bad Batch episode. So she pulls him out of the water, and
I'm out.
I like that. Is Grog? What? You're done? You're done.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm empty.
I thought you were leaving. You're like, I'm out of here.
No.
I've had enough.
I forgot to mute my mic, and I'm like, sorry. That was me. I'm out.
What was the question? Oh, Ernie mentioned something about seeing. Well,
No.
Removing a helmet. Huge question. When Paz removes his helmet, is it gonna? If he removes his helmet.
The actor, his name is the guy in the suit. His name is Tate Fletcher. Huge guy. He's also one of the mercenaries in at the beginning of Mandalorian, like in that bar scene on that planet, the cold planet. And he's also doing the voice now too. Favreau stepped away.
I noticed the voice was a little bit. I was listening for it this episode. Yeah. I'm like, this doesn't sound like.
No, it's a different voice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Ernie,
all right.
That's not canon. That's just the fun thing. Them
putting
Favreau's head on it.
Garbage.
No, now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
False Mando.
Yeah.
Apostate.
I guess I could stop taking that to Disneyland every time I go to have him sign it. Forget it.
So she's happy that I love the first thing that he says. He wakes up, I am redeemed.
Right.
That's true.
Like he almost died.
Yeah.
He sits there like, I am redeemed.
Yeah.
That felt so 80s to me. I love it.
He's kind of a goober this season. He's been hanging out with Boba Fett too much.
What? Oh my god.
I am also offended.
Yoko.
I am also outraged. I join you in your outrage, Ernie.
Wow.
I love it.
That was out of nowhere.
Tell me I'm wrong. He's been like dad jokes.
I'm thinking of something. I don't know.
There's this.
Hello, I am Dinjarin. Like, that's gonna be next.
So effed up, man. I have no comment right now.
They're scoring points after points.
And look at everybody who was busy working or doing something, had to type something in, huh? Look at everybody now. Everybody's here.
The dishes. You're like, I gotta dry my hands and reply to this one.
Yeah. Somebody right now is like, excuse me, 1 second.
There we go.
Look at everybody.
Going.
There's a show, Arrested Development. where Will Arnett's character is supposed to break. He's like, I vow as a magician to break out of prison. That's my next biggest trick. and he had swallowed a handcuff key, and that was supposed to help him. But whatever happened, he got stabbed in prison, and he gets taken to a hospital out of jail. And then he's like, "Am I still in prison?" When he wakes up, the first thing he says is, "Am I still in prison?" They're like, "No, you're in the hospital." And he goes, "Ta-da!" Like he's still recovering. And he's like, he's been under surgery. He's like, "Ta-da!" So that's the first thing I got. He wakes up. He's like, "I am redeemed."
That did make me laugh. I forgot.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
he did it immediately. It was so funny.
But we talked about Bo being like kind of respecting, kind of Din Djarin's how he following the way and the following this religion almost, and so we see her admiring him, like going through all this, but at the same time she's like, "So what did you see down there? Did you see anything?" Like if you just woke up and you're like, "Did you see anything alive down there?" It's like very specific question. He's like, "No, I didn't see anything." So if he knew that he was being pulled down, like he would have said there was something, right? But I like that she's just kind of feeling out what's going on there, and she looks back in the water. What do you think she's like? Why do you think she's withholding that information? Why wasn't she immediately like, "Yo, like there's a freaking mythosaur down there. What do you mean you didn't see nothing? Like you got pulled down probably." Why do you think she's withholding that at the moment?
I mean, it changes everything for her, right? If that's like, 'cause she thinks it's a myth, and if it turns out to be real, that like changes everything she's ever known.
But wouldn't you want to share that with like the person who's right there with you?
Not necessarily. Maybe she's processing feelings.
I mean, she said it herself. Katie Sackhoff has said it herself in the interview. Like, Bo-Katan is still processing what she's seeing, whether she's questioning whether it's real or not. I mean, she said, "Did you see anything?" He was like, "Nope, didn't see nothing. Just got pulled down." And so now she's like, Like,
this is also fast, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't have the benefit of Kevin's screenshots to look at.
That's right. So she is processing this, and she wants to be sure, because again, this is going to shake her core beliefs. Something that she's believed in her entire life as being fairy tales and myths, and she's spoken about with disdain. I mean, even when she read that plaque that was on the wall, right? Like there's such a sarcastic sort of mocking tone saying like, "You're a fool for believing this." But like more and more, she's been, the way she observes how he behaves, how he carries himself, what his beliefs really mean to him, has given her a moment of pause, which is why she's way more respectful now. When he says this is a way, she doesn't go, "This is the way." She responds back. It's like there's something to it. And that's a really great sort of journey. And it is. It goes into the name of the episode, even, the convert, right? She is, I mean, it's not just her in this, it referring just to her, but I think it's a strong sort of statement to that fact that she is starting to question, what is her path? Where does she belong? Maybe these, she called them religious zealots, extremists at the beginning. So...
Anton says maybe Bo-Katan didn't want to say everything because Din can't keep secrets well and would have just told all the other Mandos. Probably. And she's playing a long game to tell him later.
I mean, kind of, but she is like, I don't blame her for not trusting anyone, right? Like she's kind of been abandoned. She's on her own. She's going to keep this to herself right now while she figures out
literally
what's going on.
Her whole crew just left her.
Yeah.
It was like she was chilling there and they all got up and went to Canada without her. And then she was just there on her throne.
I live here.
That was great.
You made a choice, Ernie.
I did.
Yeah.
I've been waiting all week to talk to you guys because I've been so confused by this episode. And that was my thing the whole time too, was what the heck? Why didn't she say something? So I was that too. Like, does she think that she imagined it? Was that it? There was so many questions.
Yes, and the last... Oh, wait, here we have a super chat. Thank you so much, Alfredo.
Hello there.
Says, why is Din so adamant to get back under that helmet? That removes the emotional moment between Grogu and Mando in that season 2 finale.
What?
That was a tearjerker.
I think absolutely that does not undermine any of that moment. That moment is that moment. It's encased there. It just speaks to his desire to be with the group that he's with. I mean, he's been with that covert, like with that entire his entire life, and he's suddenly sort of cast out, and it shows his love for Grogu, but he's also feeling displaced himself, right? And so if there's a way for him to go back, then he can. So I don't think that removes the emotional moment between Grogu and Mando.
Mando.
El Mandalore.
It's green dumplings, Mando.
Paul's hungry.
But I don't think it removes that at not one bit.
You guys, Ernie raised his hand.
He did?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alfredo super chat was blocking him. Send more super chats. Block Ernie. Paul's going to be now known as the Mandalorian, by the way. Ernie. Yes, Ernie.
I think everyone forgets that there's been time in between this. Like, this is a long time season 3 is. So it isn't that season 2 just happened with their emotional connection and everything. He also gave him to Luke. He let him go. He let him train.
For like a year.
Yeah, everything. So I think it's the time. So now it's like, basically, I think he feels more of the fatherly figure to Grogu, that I have to show you that I may have messed up by doing this stuff, and I'm going to correct everything. Because all this whole time, he's been really trying to teach him stuff. Look at a Mandalorian needs to know about maps.
Oh, is he setting an example?
This is what we do. And so, you know, I have to go to redeem myself and get baptized again. And I do. So I think it's just because it's time. Like, you know, where he's growing. He's trying to show him now he's past the cute baby stage. I'm going to take care of you. Now I need to raise you, and I need to raise you correctly. Is kind of what I feel like.
Well,
so.
he's a foundling. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's his task. They are a clan of 2. He is the father. And that's what they do. Like with all the other Mandalorian children that you see, right? Like the one at the very beginning where I think his name is Ragnar. That's Paz Vizsla's foundling, right? Whether it's his biological child or not, it doesn't matter. You have that connection, just as they've shown with Grogu and Din Djarin, right? So they take the foundlings very, very seriously. They're very protective of them in that covert. One of the first things that Din Djarin does when he gets some Beskar, he says, you know, use some of the extra stuff for the foundlings, right? Like he's always giving back to the foundlings. That's like a core belief from them. So I think that just sort of falls into place with regards to how they see the hierarchy. The children must be protected at all costs. They must be nurtured. They must be taught the way, which is really cool. So,
yeah, Alfredo, thank you so much for the super chat. Micro Galaxy Squadron says, Katie's, I thought you were talking about some sort of car service, but Katie's autograph lines are about to be a day long. Absolutely. They keep their helmets on for family photos. Aiden Skate says, how long until Grogu gets a helmet? Do you have to be old enough to say the words? If Grogu can't speak yet, maybe not until then.
I don't know.
But she's starting to speak more and more in this episode, or in this season. Last week, I questioned how would Mando prove that he bathed in the living waters. Well, apparently just getting a vial of it here.
Wait. Would his
What?
ears stick out of the helmet?
That would be cool.
Would his ears also be inside the helmet?
it
I've
should
seen
be
some
inside the helmet.
fan art.
I know fan art has it out, but that's so impractical.
Yeah.
What if they have
Right.
it inside and then they, you know how some of the ones have horns on their helmets? They just
So it goes
like
up.
sculpted
Looks
metallic
like a
ears.
But we've seen him with his ears down.
Or it'd be like
You
a
can put
3/4 hat.
Yeah, he can put his ears down.
Huh.
I
Sorry.
think he just needs to tape it.
Sorry, I was just like imagining what that would look like for a second.
Imagining. Oh, there you go. So she's looking back out on the waters. They're back in the ship, and they're gonna bring Mando back to the N1. And yeah, we talked about how now when Mando says this is the way, she says it back like in a more serious tone. There isn't any sarcasm or any tone of mockery in it. And that scene kind of gets lightened up when Grogu tries to say it. That's what Grogu's trying to say, right? He's like, "Wah, wah, wah." It's like the same amount of syllables.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was
That's
amazing.
awesome. But then it gets interrupted by an attack of some TIE interceptors. She mentions that they've been raiding a lot of Imperial warlords and whatnot, so that'll piss people off. So there's a whole gang of them teaming up. They have to get back to Bo-Katan's castle, so Mando can get his ship and help out, help take some of the other fighters out. A lot of these shots are like the flying shots. I realize like the camera angles have been so unique, and maybe it's just a unique way of filming the practical ship with a digital kind of backdrop. You know, there was one when the Mandalorian was, one of the Mandos were flying, the culties, as the chat has been calling them, flying away from that big alligator in that first episode, and it was like the head down camera angle. There's a few in this episode as well. But Mando gets back.
This was dope.
I thought he would take out one in the air, maybe. You know, he kind of flew up, and didn't he fly up against Moff Gideon's ship in the beginning? I thought maybe he would fight one on the way down, just like wave the dark saber and take out some wings or something.
He cut his own leg off.
Oh, that's true.
With so much trouble with that thing.
And then you have to stick the landing with that blade. You definitely lose a limb. The way he's been moving.
So good.
So he takes off, and then they have this kind of 89 Batman moment where he goes straight up into the sky, and it pauses for a second to let gravity kind of take over, and he turns the ship around like a quick 180 to catch the person who's tailing him. The way Din Djarin and Bo-Katan were flying in this episode, like it was just almost organic. Like it felt like the ships were animals almost, the way they flew everything. In this episode, especially this part here. If you haven't gotten your Micro Galaxy Squadron, where is this gauntlet that Paul? We talked about this last week too, but it's too good to not show it again. It can do this just like this episode. Wave when it turns 180, hi, like this, and when it lands, everything it does this episode. Go grab the ship. Go grab the ship. It has a lot of detail on it, and you can open up the cockpit to put Bo-Katan, but no Grogu or other people. Super nice pickup.
No,
thank you,
no
Paul.
X-Woves. Is what I could say there.
Sometimes I amaze even myself.
We don't even need Paul anymore. We have the soundboard. If we just have the soundboard and all the Appa gifs from the internet, is Paul real or just an AI of some sort? Anton says, Kevin, I have the ship too, and I was thinking of you in this scene. Aw, and having the ship made it so much better. It's unfortunately now sold out on US Amazon since it's shown up so much.
That's why I said you
guys,
wanted to grab that, baby.
I told you guys it was a good pickup the moment it showed up in the trailer. I called it. I called it. I didn't want to keep, praising myself. Anyway, after an amazing fight and chase scene, they fly back to the castle, only to find that Bo-Katan, another home of hers, is being bombed by the Empire. And
who is doing this though? Mm-hmm. That's a big question. Who? Because she calls it and she says, what did she call them? Scud pirates, or what is it? And I like her smart ass remark too, is when he says, well, they don't like that. She's like, oh, now you tell me. That was hilarious too. Their banter is good. And then this happens, but this is, now they're bombing her home. So who is this? Because it just doesn't seem like a regular old small unit.
No, she's like, how did so many get out here? And then after the interceptors, now you have bombers. And not only these 3 or 4, but as she chases them, was like another 12 ships show up on the radar. Cam Jack says you found it for $8, but you skipped. Ooh, hope you can find it again. Trevor, go pick it up.
They're still available at GameStops here in Toronto. I still see them.
Oh, Yoko, you should have brought them all back to America. You'd be.
I know. We saw one. I picked it up and then I put it back.
Oh, you didn't get it? Oh.
No, I was like, I don't have room in my bag right now.
Yeah, you open it and just it.
Yeah, it could have fit in your carry-on because it's so flat.
I guess so.
Yeah. like a laptop compartment. Thrawn. Some people are saying Thrawn.
I was wondering. I was like, the first time I watched the episode, I was like, did I miss something about who's chasing them? Like, what happened? But then I watched it again, and I still felt like I missed something.
Yeah, it's not saying it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bo Din. I think that name won in the chat last week. A great team, and I hope to modify my displays at home with those two. Let's see. So yeah, they follow up and look at all these ships here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that was like what the pirates did to Mando in the early episode, right? Just kind of have them chase towards hopefully a bigger ship or some way to trap them.
He led him there. The pirates led him through the asteroid field to the main ship, but this is not. This is like a standard Imperial swarming tactic. You saw it in Return of the Jedi when all those TIEs, just like during the Battle of Endor, they just so many TIE fighters, and that's what the Empire does, right? They just swarm their targets with multiple fighters, and that's, for me, I love that, because it's like, oh, they're following Imperial doctrine, which means they're more disciplined than your standard remnants, right? Like season 1 and 2, Cara Dune talks about the warlords being like cowards. Like you shoot a couple and then they all run, right? They fall to pieces and run. So
Skate says, my guess it's Master Sifo DS that's behind this. We didn't see him die on screen, so it's possible. Anyway, they book it out of there on their using. Sorry, Mando says, like, I know a place where we can go, and they fly out of there. And then we cut to Coruscant, and this scene, a lot of the settings have, maybe it's the CGI and it's all like fancy Coruscant stuff. Gave me a lot of prequel vibes with everything.
Fancy Coruscant stuff.
That's the actual opera house that they used that's the same location on Coruscant as in episode 3 when Palpatine's telling Anakin about the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Right? It's during the opera, and it's there that they're doing it.
Oh, that was an opera?
Yeah, that's an opera house. Where he's giving his TED talk.
Everything's the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Where she climbs the stairs.
Where she's walking back and forth. Like it was all episode 3. So it's a direct callback.
That's why you felt like that.
Micro Galaxy Squadron sent me this tweet as well. Someone noticed the opening shot for the Coruscant. Opening shot in Coruscant is a reuse shot from Revenge of the Sith.
Oh.
So they're
why not?
reused.
Why not? It's there. You got it.
Yeah. Cool. Just wanted to point that out. Thank you for sending that my way. Okay, now I gotta go back to the other screen. Damn it. Anyway, the scientist, Dr. Pershing, is giving a speech, and he's talking about kind of the integrating with the New Republic and the way they've accepted him, and he's done with cloning and regrets all his actions. I thought that was really interesting. And then all these what was it that this dude said? He's like, oh, Empire, Rebels, New Republic. It's like I forget. It changes all the time. It doesn't really affect him. I don't know. This guy just looks great. They really don't show a lot of emotion, but it's cool because they're in this program, and they mention it. The Empire never would have done this. Kind of taking people who were formerly of the Empire, rehabilitating them, and giving them jobs and making them part of the New Republic. I thought that was a really cool scene. I didn't expect anything like this. What did you guys think of this? Kind of them introducing this factor into the story.
I just want to talk about the aristocrats. I mean, they're listed as aristocrats in the credits, right?
Oh, are they?
So yeah, and that's one of the things that was really sort of pernicious about this whole episode and like the social commentary, because it's like, the elites, they don't care who's in charge. It's they don't care because it doesn't really affect them. You can see, obviously, when the Empire was ruling, they didn't suffer, right? Rebellion, they don't care. Like, it's always the same for them. The haves versus the have-nots. The people in the outer rim, the mid rims, they get it, right? So I thought that was really sort of great social commentary on that. The fact that they have the amnesty program, which is what you're talking about, and they have the amnesty pins, and the pin is an A, right? In Arabic, A. But it's like the scarlet letter, right? Like way back in the day, you'd have to wear your sin on, pinned to you so people knew what you were. They got special uniforms. They got the pins on there so people know they were former Imperials. We're also talking, this is a point now, it's like 5-6 years after Return of the Jedi. It's after the Empire's been down for a while, right? And so these, like, how long were these guys Imperials for? Because they react to the amnesty officer G68, Eli Kane. They go, oh, you work for Gideon? Like, shit, that was just like a couple of months ago. So like, you were hardcore. Like, you just, like, the Empire was defeated and you still were on their side of the remnants for this long, and now you're out? Huh, that's interesting. Like, they all give her that sideways sort of look, right? So like, were these guys regular rank and file with the Empire? And then, because that's kind of like, we were out as soon as Endor fell, we gave up. And we're in this program, but you've been in this for an extra 5 years. So I thought that was really...
How is the first thing we're not mentioning, though, that they're being called by numbers?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the thing that jumped out at me immediately. Right? Like, I think obviously, I feel like the point of a lot of this part of the episode was to show, is the New Republic any different, really, actually, from the Empire?
Yes.
I think that's what reminded me of Andor more, where it's going to show that gray area, that it's not necessarily good guys versus bad guys. It has to set up the New Republic to fail too, right? Because it's leading up to the First Order rising to power again.
Yeah,
so it's going to show
in my mind, calling them by numbers, it's like, that doesn't seem like a good guy thing to do. Good guys being the New Republic, right?
No, especially because we see the whole thing with the clones and not wanting, wanting to be called by names instead of their numbers. And now we see that happening with the New Republic. That, to me, was immediately sus. They can make up new names,
Yeah, like aliases, like the show Alias. That's a good point. All right, so they're all drinking soju here, having a good time.
Soju
and
cocktails, totally.
Yeah, this is the yogurt flavored soju and pre-portioned cups, which seems ridiculous. You just drink the whole bottle. Everyone gets a bottle. But yeah, we run into this officer who was on Moff Gideon's ship. She was in contact with those spies on Navarro, I think, that placed a tracker on the Razor Crest, the ship that blew up. But she's there in the amnesty program. Kind of recognize each other. I like that, they kind of make them seem like, I don't want to say humanized, but nicer. They're like, oh, what do you miss from the old days? Just like more like your everyday kind of, not just troops, not just like Empire equals bad, right? And they just joke around. They call her, I'd rather. They compare the dry travel biscuits to her humor or her jokes. And then, of course, here, Dr. Pershing sitting down at night getting some screenshots for his podcast. And while he's doing that, he gets a ring on his door. These are cool. The travel biscuits that he mentioned. So, show of hands, who hopes that these are going to be in stores soon and wants to try it?
I thought they were a box of floppy disks at first.
Oh my god. No, Ernie's crying. Ernie, is there anything like this in the parks at the moment, or hopefully soon?
Yes, it was all there this weekend. No. It's such a missed opportunity again, because like all this, like even remember Andor, we should have had that cereal out that he was eating. Like there's so much that we should be having right now. The drinks that they're drinking, the other treat that we're going to see pretty soon, like all this should be there like right now to do it. And the thing that gets me is a Marvel movie comes out and they have the characters and everything, as soon as the Marvel movie releases, those characters are in the park like next day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really feel like these are cookies. You can have this, just call it. We'd eat it up so bad. I would be telling you guys, I each got you your own pack. They're here, but I have them. Like, for reals. I really think that this is something that we're missing over there. Is I get the made up food and what you have, but if we're seeing something in canon, bring it on over. It's a package. Let's do it and call it the drinker like that. But yes, I'd be all over it.
Well, they have a red option, apparently. They mentioned at the picnic table.
Uh-huh.
Tommy, I don't have a comms officer card. Do I? Tommy remembers everything. I have Valen Hess,
Nice.
which was an answer in Paul's trivia last night.
But the auto. I know. I punched my desk again. The auto cards. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have Dr. Pershing somewhere.
I have
Oh, do you
Axe
really?
Wolves.
Lucy. Yeah.
You have
I,
Axe.
I think I have Axe Wolves too. Actually,
The one friggin' card I pull.
of course.
I'm
Of
glad
course
I
it's
got
Axe
Teacher
Wolves.
Droid. I dropped my Teacher Droid card somewhere, but I have a Chris Bartlett.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
And didn't you get? There was another one. There was like a security officer, not the comms officer. It was like the security officer, and his autograph was like everybody was pulling his card for a while.
I got it?
I can't see it. That's Valen Hess.
Yeah, that's the only one that I got. That's an officer, I think. This is Chris Bartlett.
Yep.
Who's a channel member on your YouTube. That's so cool, man.
That's
Is he?
dope.
Yeah.
Did
He joined like
us?
2 weeks ago.
Oh my god!
He was yeah, talking to you the whole time about the premiere and everything.
I was pretty drunk, so
Oh, yeah, he was all up in there. He was talking to you, he was answering everybody.
oh, that's
I got
awesome.
Daniel
Well, that
Craig.
that's Chris. That wasn't Chris. This
isn't Chris.
was Daniel Craig and a
That
piece
was
of
Daniel
the
Craig's pants.
And you know what I thought? I thought, didn't you get a security member's pants? And there it was. So I was automatically going there too.
No, I
I
have
was.
this
Pet
dude.
Journeys?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Who's
the
that?
only auto cards I have are same. I have that one.
pulled straight out of your shrine.
And I have that one.
Careful. It's all going to come crashing down.
And I have that
Um,
one.
Alfredo says, I think Katie has said it had a coconut flavor. Oh, the cookies, the travel biscuits.
Mm.
Awesome.
I love
But they talk about... Wait, what? You love coconut candles?
I love coconut. So I don't buy those.
And, Pershing's... He talks about his work and working with the cloners. But, we mentioned that this is kind of frowned upon in the New Republic, cloning. It's very... In a gray area, it's unethical for them. So he's working like an everyday desk job, categorizing these. These are floppy disks, Yoko, I believe. And the moment I saw it, I remembered I have this accessory somewhere, lying in my room. It's comes with this Black Series Rebel Trooper. You get that data disc on it. So if you were looking for it from this episode, you might already have it in your collection. Of course, we also learn about days of the week on
It's
Alderaan.
like toast
Sorry, on
with a fried
Coruscant.
egg on it. Doesn't it?
It does. My honey actually makes it like that. I can't remember what she calls it.
You
Oh, I
cut a
think she
hole
calls
out
it
in the
egg
bread.
bread. Yes, and then you drop an egg in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Exactly
Calls it
like
egg
that.
It doesn't
Yeah,
look
egg
like
bread.
it there, but in the
The toy one.
toy.
Matthew, don't worry, you claim that figure. I have two. And also, they're working, and it's Bendu Day. Did they name it after that big beast in Rebels, the Bendu?
Oh, maybe.
Do they know about the Bendu, or is it only for like Force people? Anyway,
Okay,
they mentioned. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so I heard this too. I've never seen this before, but on Sarlacc Digest, we were taking it as the Bendu, and he was in the middle. So we thought that this was Wednesday, because of the middle of the week. So Bendu Day. And then, he came in with the Tongs Day. So my bad. Pull my Star Wars card. I didn't know that there was days of the week. I didn't.
I mean, there must be. Anyway, the first day is Amazon Prime Day, Syntax Day, Tongs Day,
Amazon Prime Day,
Bendu Day. You know, do you think Bendu was the third branch of the Jedi? Oh, okay.
Jedi.
But yeah, Bendu was that's what I thought of, the big creature from Rebels that
Right. That's what I
speaks
thought too.
to Kanan. Ernie, isn't it called a toad in the hole? That can't be right. Is that the same thing?
I don't know. No, she just calls it egg bread. That's how I know it. I'd never seen it before. I put weenies in my eggs.
Whoa.
So that's what I grew up on. Eggs and weenies. That's the best. Oh
Back in my day, we'd eat eggs and weenies. And I didn't know there were more than 5 days out of the week. But that's okay. Because I have a card.
Pull my Star Wars card. I didn't. Did you know that? Did you know these, Paul?
No.
Okay. So
No, I did not.
I'm not cut today. I'm probably cut. I was cut a long time ago.
Not today. That
I mean, you
voice
can't
was
be cut if
like-
you're not.
A part of the show.
you-
Sorry. Yeah, that's right, Yoko.
that's his
Thanks.
goal. He can't hurt me if I was never, involved.
Look at that stack of discs.
He's got a lot of stuff to do.
So
This
many
looks like
Death Star plans to go through.
the base of a blender.
That's his
Do you
coffee
think-
maker. That's a holo projector.
Do you think they have to go through each card and they were looking for the one with
Definitely.
the Death Star plans on it?
Blender
They're like, which one is it?
No, it's all inventory for shit that they have to destroy.
Yeah, he goes through all the
they
stuff
go
and he
through it
finds
again,
the
right? He's like,
equipment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, this is all really good stuff. Why are we getting rid of it?
This is perfectly good Imperial equipment.
But it
And
looks
you're-
just like the what's it called offices from Andor, right? Like this whole setup, the cubicles.
Yeah, what's his name was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like an office.
Weren't they more like individual pods in Andor?
Yeah.
Didn't they look
Same
like
vibe, same corporate vibe.
well, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
you're in a cubicle, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like the little glow popsicles they had.
that's
Yeah, why aren't those at the park, Ernie?
That's what I'm saying. That was the other one.
How do you get them to
Yeah.
glow?
Just eat a
Oh,
candle.
I
Put it like a glow cube in the middle. They do that
Yes.
with drinks all the time. Yeah.
They do it with drinks all the
They
time.
do it at
Yeah.
Off-World all the time.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
And it's so.
Yeah, but they reclaim the ice cubes, like
you don't get
they
to
can
keep it.
reclaim them, right? No.
Oh,
the
we-
Oh, at the
craziest,
parks you do. Yeah.
Yeah, we get to keep ours.
Oh, well,
the
there you go.
craziest drink we got
You
at
could totally make a
Off-World.
glow popsicle stick.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was called
workshopping.
Black Hole. Go on AliExpress and see if they have them. You could definitely do that. The glow sticks. But
Yeah.
there's a drink there called the Black Hole. It comes with headphones and it's pre-recorded audio from within a black hole, and then you put on the headphones as you have this beverage.
Holy crap!
And it was just crazy. The whole experience is a lot of fun. But I like this here, the tip of this mountain. Kind of, it's supposed to be the highest mountain on all of Coruscant, and that shows how much they've built from the surface of the planet. And I like when she sets him up to, yeah, go ahead, touch it, go ahead. I thought the droid was gonna zap him or something, but the New Republic's too nice. The Empire
That
would've
was all a
taken
little cheesy for me.
taking a hand or something. They're having fun. She's building trust with him.
I guess.
All for it to be taken away.
Spoilers.
Yeah, way to jump to the end, Kevin. God.
I jumped to the very vague point of near middle, not right to the end. From the
Very
first
vague
screenshot.
point of near.
We already
to
did
the-
that. We already went to the end at the beginning.
Exactly. Oh, Winger Lou says that was total foreshadowing. See, that's jumping to the end. That's jumping to the end. And we just see more of his life. He has like to check in with his almost like a parole officer droid once in a while.
But only half a droid.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to move, so they save the legs for a more mobile droid unit. And so he comes to the conclusion that his work is far too important to be thrown aside, and he talks to the other, what was her name, Aaliyah Kane.
Yes.
Yeah. That, you know what, I kind of want to continue my work, no matter what it takes, if it's for the greater good of the New Republic. So she tells him she can help him out, to go to the old shipyards where the Imperial ships are being decommissioned and stripped down, to find a mobile lab. I just thought these uniforms were cool. Here they are skipping the line on the TTC, trying to get on the subway without having to pay. And the Tongs Day reference, where he tries that quote. It's like, Tongs Day, huh? And he was just not good at it. And Kane was just like, yeah, we're gonna work on that one. The whole train scene was a little bit extra, but they get to the shipyards and find their ship, and he talks about wanting to become a scientist because his mother had I think organ failure, and if cloning were allowed, it would have saved her life. And so that's kind of like the main drive for him to become a scientist, and also want to keep this kind of technology going under the rule of the New Republic. Oh, that was him saying Tongs Day, and it was a really tough crowd. That's everybody here on the on the train. Here's a shot from the trailer that you could only see from Disney Plus in the beginning. It wasn't in that Super Bowl ad. I think it was the Disney Plus trailer version that had the extra scene. And so we know he's this. A lot of people knew it was Dr. Pershing right away. That's him. And now we know who he is with. And only at this time do they finally introduce themselves with their real names. It took a while. They're like, oh, wait, I used to see you on the ship over on Moff Gideon's place. What do you think is happening? When did the setup begin? Was she there to kind of test Dr. Pershing to begin with?
Yeah, she had
This is
designed
always-
on it
yeah.
right from the get-go. Right from the get-go, because she's entering the opera house. She's sussing him out right from the get-go, right? Like, she's one step ahead. Like, when he runs into the other officers in the amnesty program, they all look at him. She's the only one who doesn't look at him, because she knows who it is already, right? Like, she set a trap right from the beginning. So, this is the classic
Like,
sort of spy
I think
trap.
she's been there waiting for him.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
So she had a purpose. So she knew exactly what to do to manipulate him, to get him to do, because he was happily just like, I will do data entry for the rest of my life, because I'm so happy that the New Republic has given me a chance. Did not care. No F's given. And then she rolls in there and says, befriends him, and don't you miss this, and don't you think it's better than that? And this is what got us into trouble. We didn't
Incepting
think
him.
She just totally honeypotted him. And then he just she gained his trust, right? Got him to do this, break whatever, not quarantine, but break the restrictive area he's supposed to. Well, it's, he's not allowed to be out of that area, right? So he makes all these violations, and she set him up the whole time. Like, the fact that they're all got the guns pointed to him, and she just stands up and walks past them.
Right.
And it's not until he takes a step forward that they raise the guns again. Like, she's been playing him the whole time. She's in cahoots.
They only addressed him too. They didn't address her. Like,
That's
right.
right.
Yep.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
they said
I was
So-
whatever amnesty scientist, whatever your code is, you're under arrest. They didn't even say her, and then immediately she turns and looks him right in the eye, as you see this awesome shot of them being this helicopter, I guess, space copter. Okay, but like, do you think they were like, oh, this guy's coming out of the program, you're gonna go test him? Or at some point she saw an opportunity that...
We're talking about our theories, our who is Aaliyah Kane theories.
Should we save it for once we get through everything in the episode? All right, we'll save it to the end, because I want to discuss, like, who could she be working for? But yes, so they're going to give him another... Oh, this is important. When the amnesty officers were talking at the picnic table earlier, and some of them mentioned Moff Gideon, and one of them says, "Oh, wasn't he rescued, or wasn't he broken out on the way to the war tribunal?" And the other one's like, "No, that's just a cover story. He got the mind probe thing, or mind blast."
Layer.
mind flare, which he's getting right now. So was that them very briefly saying like, yo, he's, Moff Gideon broke out? Because if that's the case, could that be who's sending those ships that you mentioned earlier against Bo-Katan, or giving orders to Elia Kane here? Still keep that in your mind for the end discussion. Anyway, he's going in for the mind flare. They're gonna give him a nice little zap in the brain, so those urges don't come out anymore. And I love the way, I didn't catch this the first time. I was telling everyone in the green room. He's like, no, she set me up.
It's a trap.
She brought me here. It's a trap. I didn't notice it the first, but he says it, and then they cut to this guy. He's looking at us. Did you really just say that to me? And as he's getting zapped, see, this is what makes me seem like, did she sell him out to kind of solidify her position in this program to make it seem like she's more dedicated? Because the guy says to her, you've done the right thing. You're a real credit to this program, right? Just buying her some more again, credit or respect, or just like people believing her, maybe she's still a double agent. Because this guy,
it's all linked. I mean, following orders, I mean, it obviously that does help her solidify her position and gain more trust in the New Republic, right? So I mean, whether that was a sole purpose or not, that's a byproduct. That's something that's going to happen anyways by throwing him under the bus. So, but I got the definite feeling that she was lying in wait for him, that she had a direct mission to silence Dr. Penn Pershing. Because then why go through all that effort she could just keep doing what she was doing and still have the trust of the New Republic. They seem pretty easy to fool. No, I mean,
they're spread pretty thin. So
yeah, but it's like the droid questioning him, right? Like you can tell he's pissed and he's not really telling the truth about his answers, but the droid's like, okay, thank you. It's like, really? You couldn't sense that tonal shift where he's not really that. He seems a bit disgruntled to me, but okay. It just seems they're very trusting. And this look at this. They're so trusting. They go, yes, by all means, stay here unsupervised with a dude that we're going to get wiped because we trust you. And they walk out and she happily just cranks it up. I mean, they did the foreshadowing, that little gauge when they were plugging him in and they first turn it on in the room and it goes up to like 1 or 2 bars and you could see how high it goes. Like in the other shot, I was like, oh, he's good. He's done. Look at how much higher it goes.
They put him on like a 2.
Yeah, and so when the guy goes, what? You want to stay here? It's like, oh, he was my friend. And so they're like, oh, yes, your credit. Okay, everybody, let's just leave. Who does that? The New Republic, apparently, right? So,
someone doesn't like his post in the Outer Rim.
I don't get it.
Because you're a disgruntled New Republic pilot patrolling the Outer Rim, so far away from everyone. But yes, they don't even have a sign that says "Don't turn it all the way to melty." Like just leave it in the room; she'll be fine. And
there's no failsafe, like an alarm that goes, it's exceeding where it's supposed to, like it should never get up to this point, right? So it goes to 11.
This is actually really sinister, taking a bite out of that travel biscuit. As she's watching this go down.
And I didn't think she liked yellow.
It's cool. She's lying.
Like and another thing that shows the Republic doesn't care. Like you shouldn't be allowed to bring snacks in there, and she brought it in. This is not supposed to be, it should be like a sanitary, sterile area. All right. So we find out Mando is bringing Bo-Katan to where the covert is. Keep your helmet on. He's bringing someone home to meet mom and dad and the parents. But this is an incredible shot, and they're greeted outside of the cave. This is what we talked about at the very beginning. The end at the beginning. They're greeted by Paz Vizsla. What the hell is this? Oh, they're pouring the water. The living waters into her stash of more water. And so Din Djarin's mission, after all this time, he's finally redeemed. He's back. He said the words. He bathed in the water, and Bo-Katan like unwittingly, she's trying to act as proof. It's like, no, I saw it. I fished him out of the water. He bathed in it. I think she was just saying it just for the sake of saying it, or to kind of help prove his point that he actually bathed in the waters. And they're like, well, you bathe in it too, so like you're cool. You can come hang out. You can be one of us until the next time you take your helmet off in front of somebody. But welcome to the gang. I like it. Got very serious, from very serious to very casual. Everyone's like patting him on the back. Welcome to the club again, except for Paz, who gives a little stare down in the corner. And it ends with Bo-Katan staring at the mythosaur skull on the wall. So where are we left? What are we left with here? What are your feelings here at the end of this, Ernie?
I liked it. I thought it was a good episode. I was very confused. I'm glad we do shows like this, because I was from the first cut of this was, why didn't she say anything about the mythosaur? And then how she was just joined in right away, like, okay, so you're a part of us too, when like they talked crap about each other. And then the other one, I was like, why is she doing this? I don't get like what's going on right now. Is she bad? Is she good? Who is she still working for? I was so confused of all over the place. And I guess it basically, yes, just comes down to they don't want him saying anything. And we did skip over a part too that I wanted to say. That whole lab was in that box. That's all he needed. was for the lab. Yeah, for reals. I thought in this setup, like they're going to be running away to this place now during the season, right? Like that was his lab. Like, look, you have everything here. There's still power. What can we do here? Huh?
They said a mobile lab. Yeah.
Mobile lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that's what it was. And then he had it in that box. Like, okay, I'm good to go. I can clone everything now. So I was like, what is that? So yeah, I was very confused. I didn't know what was going on, but I still enjoyed it. It was great.
So who do we think? What are the theories for Aaliyah Kane? Paul or Yoko or Ernie? Do you have Ernie?
No,
you're only going to ask Ernie what he thought of the episode.
No, because I know what you wanted to mention about the theory. How did you feel about the episode, Yoko?
Well, since you asked,
another classic Yoko.
I think it makes sense that Bo-Katan's keeping that all to herself. She's still, she's got to process it all, and I'm curious to see what happens with that. I don't trust Big Boy Vizsla either, and we'll see what happens there. I look what
he didn't even fill the box.
But yeah, for me, the bigger question, really. Well, there's two things happening here, right? What's going on with the Mandalorians, and then, of course, who is Aaliyah Kane?
Did you want to go into any?
Well, I was going to see what Paul wanted to, Paul's thoughts on the episode overall.
I like the episode. I think what they're doing is laying foundation for. I mean, we're 3 episodes in, and Din Djarin is redeemed, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody thought, oh, it's going to be this huge thing, and maybe at the end, they're setting up the groundwork for just how I think inept the New Republic is.
Yes.
And like Yoko said, are they better than the Empire? Right? They're obviously, with the dehumanization of the amnesty officers, that's a big thing right there. It's kind of like we're trying to see, we're more gentle. We don't call it the mind flayer. We call it something else. We don't use it to wipe your memory. We just use it to gently massage, your thought patterns. Yeah. So it's easier for you to integrate, right? But we won't use any of the Imperial stuff. That's evil. So we'll get rid of that. It's just like they just put up a different flag over the building. And you see that. You see, like, there's literally, in one of the shots, like a banner of the New Republic hanging temporarily over what's probably an Imperial cog or something like that, right? And so, but you also see something, and this is very subtle, the sheer amount of bureaucracy that is being involved now. It's not a fascistic in that sense where, there's so much paperwork and so many reports and so many things to file. And it's a newish government that's still trying to run an entire galaxy. It's a centralized government, right? Like I think before it used to be all these systems would govern themselves, and they would have their own defensive forces and this and that, and they would all sort of be part of a republic, right? So they're laying the groundwork for that. They're setting up the sequel trilogies because we all know where this is marching towards eventually, right? So I think in terms of trying to bridge that, and they're doing what Filoni did with the prequel trilogy, they're filling in the gaps, right? They're sort of they're propping it up, they're filling in the gaps, they're making sure, okay, this is what's going to enrich these other movies because they just didn't have enough time or the wherewithal, and so there's huge jumps in logic. So now we're going to fill in these gaps, and it's a tough thing. It's a hard thing to have to prop up another story where people know the ending, right? So, but I think they're doing a great job. It's a thankless, it's a very difficult job. I think a lot of people are very impatient, as we all are. Why hasn't this been answered right away, right now? What's going on? I don't like it because I still have questions. I find that very like, let's watch the whole season. But I've always been that way. It's like, let's watch the whole thing and then we'll discuss whether it really worked or not. There you go. Right.
I got a bad feeling about this.
And so, yeah, I liked it, but I'm biased too. Noah Clure, who wrote this episode, co-wrote it with Jon Favreau. I met him season 1 on my set visit, and he was he was Jon Favreau's assistant. And the next time I met him, he was like he was helping in the writing room, right? And now he's just like, every time I meet him, and like I have an affinity for, like, one of the reasons why I kind of like took to him was because my son has the same name as him. So that's how we first connected. So, oh my God, you've got the same name as my eldest. And so, you know, I felt that connection with him, and to see him go up through the ranks and then to see him with his name on that episode, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit protective over him. I still think it's good writing. I'll fight anybody on that. People who complain, oh, it's boring, or they're saying the inevitable, like, oh, it's like Andor, like it's a bad thing, right? Like that's what gets me. But I like, for me, it's like, it's a hard task getting to this point. It told a story. I think it was really well directed. Lee Isaac Chung, he was an Oscar nominated director for Minari. The character stuff I thought was really, as an actor, I loved watching Omid and Katie just chew it up in those scenes. That was fun to see. There's intrigue between Bo-Katan and what she's going to do with the Children of the Watch and the information she has within the store. And I love seeing the comments where people say, oh, Din looks like this, or she looks like that. It's like they have masks on, helmets. You are directly projecting what you think is on, but they are completely without emotion, and we are endowing them with whatever emotions we see fit. And that's why I love it. Different people have different sort of takes on what's going on there, like how they perceive it. So this is for me, it's a solid episode. Really, really liked it. Moves the story forward. It's setting up the ground. Like it's all about setting up for a payoff. And I have some insider baseball information too, right? So, and I know what I know, right? So, and I can't speak to that, but it's just like, it's very interesting reading a lot of these comments too. It's like, okay, that's interesting.
Oh, don't let us hold you back.
No.
What do you want to confirm for us today?
Yeah.
No, nothing. But yeah, I'll be straight. I'm fucking biased about the show. When it comes to the show, I'm gonna be biased about it. I loved working on it. I love seeing what they're doing. I have some information on where it's going. So it's just like, it's interesting being on because I'm a fan too. And it's neat reading the comments and how everybody is really, like, their brains are working in overdrive to figure stuff out. And there are connections that are being made that I never would have even considered. And you kind of go, wow, that's really smart. Right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's like, I think sometimes, like everything else, it's we overthink things sometimes, right? And we expect huge things, which is great to have huge expectations, but like not to be. I think the biggest trap is to be upset or disappointed if it wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of storytelling, is not to give everybody exactly what they thought they were going to get, because then you go, oh well, it's predictable. Like you can't win in that sense, right? So I'm excited because they're going in different, like they're throwing those twists and turns, and that's part of the game too, right? It's not, you can't just show and give exactly what everybody expects, because then everybody loses interest. You want to tell this story in a different way, and I think they're doing a great job. So
No, you make a very good point. You know, it's where the story is going as a whole, highly articulated, saying I think this episode can really be only judged objectively after the season finishes. Because for me, it's like, why are they putting this Dr. Pershing story right in the middle of this episode? There's so much, and it's so much of the episode, right? Probably like close to half, if not more. And if we didn't see what happened to him afterwards, we as the viewer, like, would we have been okay with that? It wasn't that someone was like, what happened to Pershing after he got recaptured? So the fact that they give it so much time, like, it's got to be setting up for something else, with whether it be tying into Elia Kane and what she's doing or who she's working for. So honestly, this is an incredible episode. If people draw comparisons to Andor with like character building and espionage and things like that, it's like that's a good thing for me, because I really loved Andor, and I think all four of us did. We talked about it for many days cumulatively, so it's got a lot of good Star Wars themes, and it just keeps going. I'm just trying to catch up with what Paul's saying here. We'll figure that one out later.
I was just answering Michael Galaxy's Cole's question. Do I get the entire episode script or only the scenes? And I only got the scenes that I'm in. They're very secretive.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of questions about what's going on, some of the reasons for some of the stuff that goes on in this episode. Yoko told me one of her theories here in Toronto. Do you want to present it to the panel? And
yes, I do.
Remember
much.
what happened to Ernie and his theories when they did not pan out.
Yeah, be careful, Yogo.
I'm gonna explain my train of thought though. Okay, so with Elia Kane, see, I'm not convinced, because I feel like the Empire would want to steal Dr. Pershing back, knowing how important the cloning program is to them and their goals and what they want to do. I'm not convinced that they would just want to destroy him or wipe his mind. I think they would want, if they really... You don't like my theory already? I just started.
It sucks.
Why is Ernie still here? So I just think that they would try to get him back first. And I feel like if she was a plant from the Empire, like with her skills, they would have been able to sneak him off somehow, or steal him back, kidnap him, and make him work for them instead. Because I think that's what their end game is, right, with the cloning. Good so point. I was
instead of getting him caught,
right, yeah. Instead of just wiping his mind, and they're back at page 1. But so I was thinking, who else? Because it seems very personal for her, right? Like, to me, I got the feeling that it was really personal to her. So I was like, who else would want to destroy cloning and put an end to the cloning program? And because I like to go for the big theory, not like Ernie, but I was like, what if she's Omega? Was where my mind went after that. Because to
that's
me,
Omega.
Yeah. I said, what if she's Omega? And don't say her accent is different and her hair is a different color, because those are things that can change over time or be changed.
She lost her hat, because now she has a hat in Bad Batch.
To me, she kind of looks like the clones, and I think I think the age is about right of where she would be at this point in the timeline. We don't know what happens to her. Imagining all her clone friends dies might kind of, harden her a little bit. I don't think she's too young to be Omega. This is only like 15 years later.
She goes in the Imperial Academy?
Yeah.
And
I don't know at what point, but at some point she goes undercover, right? I mean, we saw Sabine and Ezra jumping in with the Imperials all the time.
It's a perfect place to hide.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, if she's gonna do that,
Who
the
wants
perfect
them?
place to hide is like amongst their ranks.
Right, but like imagine, like I could see, we talk about like Fennec's attitude shifting over the years, and I feel like that could happen with Omega too. If literally all the clones die, right? We're assuming at some point because we don't see them later. And
Well, apparently Captain Rex has been retconned into Return of the Jedi,
except for Rex,
which
but
I
the
call
Bad Batch
poppycock.
guys, Hunter
And Cody.
Cody is Boba Fett. That's right. He takes over
So
Boba
Cody,
Fett.
so we know two.
Jesus.
Because to me, I feel like it's not going to be like the whole Empire, theory. It seems too obvious for me, and I think so. I don't know. I kind of like this Omega. I like the Omega theory personally. I mean,
It's a big swing. You swing for the fences, Yoko.
I am.
That's the grand slam, though, because if it's right, that's the grand slam. Like Hail Mary touchdown pass that nobody like really believed could happen, but they pull it off. I mean, that's gutsy. Yeah. I think it's a gutsy gambit if it is right. I think it's a stretch. I think it's
definitely a stretch.
Yeah, it's a sexy theory. It's a fun theory.
It explains why we're getting two shows at the same time.
Right. I'm just desperate to make these connections. I want everything to be connected.
I think they will, just maybe not in the way that we think sometimes.
Right.
It's the whole Occam's razor idea. Like sometimes the simplest explanation is kind of really what it is.
Right.
I mean, these great theories are wonderful. Like, Ernie's theory in Andor, where it was the lieutenant's girlfriend that the two Vel, they went off to sort of rescue and all that stuff. That was,
I don't. People think she's not too young. I don't understand.
No, I think she's that's the right age.
Yeah, she's the right age.
Because it's only like 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, the Bad Batch, she's like, how old is she in that? She's about like what, 12, 13?
Yeah, right.
Right. So you go, and that's just before. How many years before A New Hope? Then. Because Luke has to grow up.
This is why I need that chart.
Right? So that's like, she might be a bit young.
I think putting her around 30, give or take a few years, is reasonable.
30, 35? Yep. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, Katie
is 35.
Katie O'Brien is like, she's in her 30s.
She's 35. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that fits.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, I could play 20s.
I just don't understand how Paul's answering Yoko like this, because when I throw a theory out, Paul straight says, "What is wrong with you? How the hell could that work?"
I noticed that too.
Voice, yeah. And here he said,
swinging for the fences, but if it pays off,
yeah,
Yoko scares me.
Could be a home run.
Hey,
because I'm scared of Yoko.
I had a good explanation of how I reached that conclusion.
Okay, what is it?
She just
were you not listening? Oh my God, Ernie, get out of here!
I thought you were gonna say something like more, like you weren't done yet.
Ernie's brain.
That's my head right now. Yeah, I thought you meant like you were gonna
tell.
Totally hit the home run out, like because she had a bow in her room or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. That could be. She does look like it.
To me, it's like she got captured, and her best option to survive is like, yeah, I'll join the amnesty program and just say that I'm done with the Empire, but she's still working with Moff Gideon, and they're like, I need to.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing, and I can't believe I'm playing along with this. But if she is dead set on destroying all because we know Palpatine has been working on wanting to clone himself forever, right? And so she's in the academy. She's gone deep undercover in the Empire, working for the Imperials, trying to follow this train of thought. The Emperor, he gets killed, but she knows Mount Tantus. She knows all this shit is going on still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Anton. you remember that, Ernie. You remember that. And so she's there. So that's why she's sticking with Moff Gideon, because he's still sort of like they're trying to get the child right? They're trying to get Grogu. They've got Dr. Pershing on board, so it behooves her to stick around to make sure that, you know, this doesn't ever happen. When Moff Gideon falls, and then she sort of like she learns that they capture Pershing. She's like, I got to get to this guy. I got to destroy his work. So she allows herself to be in the amnesty program. She does, you know, all this stuff, and then boom, she gets him out of the picture. And I mean, ultimately, it's futile because we know what happens in the future. So there is that idea, like there is that fact that the cloning still continues on. Like, I don't think he was that pivotal, and this is where I think the string, once you start tugging on it, sort of falls apart. I don't think he's as pivotal as he thinks he is, just because they have all these other scientists who are working there too. They've already built up a huge body of work. He said himself he was very close. That doesn't mean the other scientists can't pick up the threads from there and do it. So in the end, he's kind of expendable. So for me, it makes more sense for Elia Kane to be a double agent who's just like making sure that he can't use his knowledge to help the New Republic in any way. So
that would be the easier explanation, right?
And and so that's why
his information's out there. Somebody else can take it to the next step. They just need to get rid of him. So the New Republic doesn't get it. Sure.
Yeah,
that's the boring explanation.
And sometimes the boring explanation is what it is, because it's like, what is the focus then?
Yeah.
Because the end game of making her character that big is it's delicious. I mean, it's sexy. Like, oh my god, yeah. And you know, Bad Batch is playing at the same time, and I get that. That's a cool. And they're talking about a crossover event eventually happening between, you know, the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and Book of Boba Fett. Like, there's going to be some sort of like big sort of crossover event. Who said really?
Okay.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no, they've been hinting at that for a while, for the last couple of years, actually.
Good job on raising your hand.
So, so you know, that's kind of neat, because then you tie in the animated series as well, right? But you already kind of have that with Ahsoka, right? Like, that's live action Rebels, basically. So
look, I'm not going to be like angry or upset or think it sucks if my theory turns out to not be true, you know? Like, I just think it's a fun idea, because I would really like to see Omega play out here later, you know, later in life.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to will it into existence.
Wasn't it
but if it doesn't happen, it's okay.
Wasn't it just 2 episodes ago where Omega liked eating the cookies from the ration, and it was a yellow one, and then like she's biting it at the end as well too?
Whoa.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was. Remember, she gave it to the kid.
Here comes
She gave it to the
Ernie
kid.
generalizing everyone again. Oh, they sure love those yellow cookies.
It was the cookie. She lied. She said
Those
red,
people.
and then she's at the end eating the yellow cookie. So I
and then
think
she slaughtered all those younglings with the lightsaber,
she did.
right?
I don't know. That's a good one, Yoko. I like it. She does have that look. I like the
Right?
whole double agent
There-
thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were judging her by her face. Like, she has that look, being very Trandoshan-y again.
No. She has a clone look. She does. That was a good one.
I want to know where that's going. And luckily, we're 29 hours away. This is the benchmark. 28. Easter chocolate crosses. Yes.
Oh, I need some. They were saying that earlier too. I tried to go out this weekend. We didn't find them, and sadly, I'm like, "What's going on?"
More Trandophobia.
Transphobia? No, John.
Now Ernie is
Hi, Nico.
generalizing. Yo,
Wow.
Nico Hutch. Always just in time.
Wow.
Nico, what is going on?
It's a trap.
It is.
Highly articulated says, Yoko, respectfully, it's not Omega.
Could
It's
be
okay.
though.
That's much more respectful than Paul and me fighting for that parking spot.
You stole it.
Well, anyway, this week there's 2 more episodes of Star Wars content, Bad Batch and Mandalorian coming out. Yoko is going to be. We're not ending. I'm just recapping real quick because there's just so much going on. Um, was that a cat?
No.
Was there more from this episode that kind of didn't really line up? Like, was there more with Bo-Katan and theories about what she's gonna do with the darks? Knowing where the Darksaber is, being like the only person who knows that there's a mythosaur alive.
But doesn't the mythosaur supersede the possession of the Darksaber? Because the Darksaber wasn't introduced till well after the first Mandalore tamed the mythosaur. Right. And so I think for her, she's sort of like, I can bypass this whole Darksaber crap and just
loophole.
Loophole. If she tames the mythosaur, that leapfrogs Darksaber.
Yeah.
Yes.
What if she has both though? Then it's like completely.
What if they get married and have both together?
Obviously.
What if the saber and the mythosaur get married
with their little Jedi baby? Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're going to be the most powerful family in all the universes.
And we were the first ones to say, would it end up being Bodin? Right? Or what is it? Dimbo?
I don't like that.
Bodin? What is it? What one? I don't remember. I don't like them either. But we were the first to coin the term. But she is. So she's supposed to tame. You're supposed to tame a mythosaur and ride it and be the conqueror of Mandalore and have everybody rise up with you.
Yeah,
so
like on Pandora.
Yeah. So the only thing that gets me mad is I don't want to see tiny Grogu on the back of the mythosaur because he's tamed like all these animals and how he fights and the Rancor he put to sleep and this and like we know he has a strong connection in the Force to not control animals but become one with them.
So are you an anti-Jedi now?
That's kind of Ezra's thing.
Anti-Jedi?
It is Ezra's thing, though.
No, I'm not anti-Jedi, but
you're totally anti-Jedi.
You're rabid anti-Jedi.
I don't want to see the mythosaur fly and like behind his ear comes Grogu. Oh,
with his little ears flapping, you don't want to. You hate that.
But I thought his ears would be inside his helmet.
No joy.
I do want joy, but not from him. I want to see Boba riding the mythosaur.
Boba.
Wow! And now the truth comes out.
Sorry, Yoko.
I knew I could count on you, honey.
We have a new most far-fetched theory of the episode. Boba Fett on the mythosaur.
That's gonna come back in one of these episodes. Mark my words, and I'm gonna tell all you guys.
Your lips to God's ears. Your lips to God's ears, Ernie.
Yes, that's what I'm trying for.
1-6 Shooter has a question. Thank you for the super chat, Trevor.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Says, is the armorer the third long-lost Katan sister?
And that's why they fight and talk crap about each other so much?
Yes, Kreese.
Yeah.
The Kreese clan.
Not Chris Kattan. That's a whole nother. Amelia!
I love.
Hey, you know where Chris Kattan's from? Bainbridge Island.
Really? Did you get like a welcoming book with all these fun facts on it or something? You're like, wiffle ball.
There's pickleball, not wiffle ball.
Pickleball, not wiffle ball. Sorry.
Yes, Bainbridge Island can claim Chris Kattan and pickleball. Yep.
Pickleball is from your island?
Yep.
Wow.
Very proud. Yep.
Does anyone remember anything about this third sister?
I didn't until somebody mentioned Corky's mother. Wait, Corky, or am I thinking of Chris Kattan again?
Oh my god.
Why is Chris Kattan? What was the kid's name? The one that was all flirty with Ahsoka. Corky. Was that his name?
It was?
I'm not sure that would be a fun fact. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why we got to chat with
spelled differently.
I think there might be some armorer scenes next week. This week, we'll find out more.
I hope so. I'm telling you, I wanted them to talk to each other, and there wasn't enough comment there. Like I said, this was such a great episode because I was so confused throughout the whole thing. I didn't have a theory for this one, and all you guys are shooting out all this stuff and everything, and I was just sitting there.
I wasn't shooting.
What's going on? Oh, you didn't have a theory this week?
No, I just want to. I want to know. I have so many questions. Like Paul said, this is good writing because I'm looking at it like, what are everyone's motives? What's everyone trying to do? I can't figure it out, and it's got me all like, losing sleep. Just like, what's happening? What's happening? I want the new episode. Chris Kattan.
Thanks.
Oh my! I don't know what you.
That's
guys
where
are
I
doing.
went, Aiden Skate. That's exactly
know,
what I
well,
thought
that's
too when
where
she
I
said
questioned
Corky.
That's what
That
I
was
questioned
all.
it as soon as I said it. Man,
Am I missing a really funny joke here?
no. That's just a weird coincidence.
Oh, I thought so.
All right. So if she gets the Darksaber, maybe or not, riding a mythosaur, because I know Paul last week we talked about like Bo-Katan doesn't seem interested in any sort of leadership role. But now that we see this happening and she's keeping that information, do you think there's there's maybe a chance that that character might come back and be like, I want to lead, and now I see another opportunity with these pieces that I have, these cards that nobody else knows that I have.
Well, the name of the episode is The Convert, right? And so maybe she's not being converted to the way of the children of the Watch, but maybe she's being converted to thinking that I can lead these people, like that she is like there are all these. It is possible. I mean, she seemed just very disillusioned and disheartened when Din Djarin shows up in the first episode or the second episode, and she's just like, she's been alone too. They all took off. She says when she came back, they all left her. They melted away. Her forces melted away.
Yeah.
So she's been at her castle by herself that entire time. And, we know there's been a significant time jump because Grogu's been off. We're not sure exactly how long, but it's been a few months at least. Like her hair is way longer too, right? The last time we saw her, she had shorter hair and now it's much longer. So she's been there for a while by herself. And she hasn't been she doesn't want visitors. She wants to tell the Mandalorian to go away and all this stuff, right? So I think, she just sort of thinks it's all silly. These legends, these things. She says, take that. You still have this Darksaber? Wave it around. They'll follow you like a bunch of idiots. But then through the course of these last episodes, she just sees the way he carries himself. And like I said before, she's starting to come around to it. And she's seen the mythosaur now. And so now I think she's in a crisis of identity. It's like, is this real? And if this is real, then it is foretold. Perhaps I can do this still. Like and that's, I think that's the battle she's having within herself right now. What does she do with this information? Right? Sabine Wren thought enough of her as a leader that she gave her the Darksaber and said, you lead. I can't lead. You lead. Right? And so it's one of these really great sort of character arcs, I think, for Bo-Katan, Kryze, to whether she's feeling up to stepping up to that and taking that mantle on and actually uniting all of Mandalore. So I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm excited to see where it goes. I know Din Djarin doesn't want to lead. He has no desire whatsoever. He's very like, nah, I'm good. Like right away, I yield. Here, take it. Bye. He doesn't want that. He just wants to raise Grogu on his own, right?
And you see that with how he fights with it, right?
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah. He's struggling with that because he can't. This is not something he wants, and he keeps struggling. Like it's even worse now. He's worse at it than he was before. So
It's true.
And I think that's the thing. He's not at peace with that. And so I think the fact that Bo-Katan just like effortlessly took apart that droid with it just shows she's in tune.
I want more Bo-Katan with Darksaber scenes this season.
Yeah, man.
Right? Like that
Absolutely.
was so cool.
Absolutely.
Is that what I didn't get to say last week? That's probably what I wanted to say last week. She was so badass with it. Yeah.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if my Mando Hot Toys has a Darksaber hilt. I don't think
The new one does.
the old one doesn't. The old 2-pack.
No,
Crap.
the new one does. For that one little. Well, do you have a Moff Gideon?
I don't.
Oh, because I think
don't.
he
We'll
comes
see.
with one.
Yeah, he does. He might. He does.
Well, I have a Moff Gideon and a map. Maybe I'll flip one to you. One of those Darksaber hilts.
Oh my gosh. All right, Paul is going to be he's going to be a toy vendor now. He's going to toy supplier. What was this one? He just wants to have a simple life and raise Grogu and Ellie. For the Last of Us fans, I missed having a new episode on Sunday. I was like 2-pack. I'm like, why are you calling Moff Gideon 2-pack? That's so Ernie. Like, oh, like the 2-pack with the two.
The hell does that
figures.
mean?
Look, the way your mouth dropped. Oh my god, screen cap that.
Jeez.
I don't want to rebuy it because now the new one is shiny and has more
Oh,
stuff.
you want to rebuy it?
No, I don't want to rebuy. That's it for me. Again, like, you know, we, even if people say this was not a great episode or things like that, we got to discuss it in detail from end to beginning in that order, and it was a lot of fun with everyone, and it's great to see everyone back from end to beginning. That's
I think
right.
it was a great episode.
I thought it was good.
It was good, definitely. I think Kat Chin wants me to spend more time on the Bad Batch next week. We'll see. We'll see. We just had so much fun talking about, like, you know, Yoko's visit. I mean, was there anything else of worthy of mention before we go from your weekend, Yoko? Usually, if it's us and, you know, the other Butter Nation people plus Soju, and Paul, of course. Paul being the master of trolling. Some kind of shenanigans going on.
Oh, what?
and
I thought
it's
you were
kind of-
leading to something and I got confused.
No, I thought, well, like, what was, if you missed anything this weekend? If not,
Tell us about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really only 2 full days.
Gary says Yoko left me with a lot of soju to drink.
How many bottles did you leave behind?
We went shopping on Thursday night, and then, you know, then we went out. So
you
we
didn't answer that
Yeah,
question.
there was no number. But,
You didn't.
well, Your Honor, we went shopping. That's not a number.
I also left the rest of my soup. I was kind of sad I forgot to eat it.
Oh no!
How
you
so?
lie.
Yeah,
That was so delicious the next day.
I bet.
And you're right, Kevin. It's just the flavors are just so much more rich the second day.
Yep. If anyone's coming to Toronto or you're from
Ernie.
here, go check out Pie,
Ernie,
downtown
gotta come,
Toronto,
man.
Off-World
Get
Bar,
Get out of here. Treat you nice.
Ting Fu
We'll
Tang.
go. Bad batch.
and
Bad
Markham.
batch. Bad.
Kat-
I
Chin said-
had McDonald's nuggets. They were
Katchin said she was going to
Good.
find me. Come find me. We'll go grab a drink and we'll talk some Star Wars. That would be a lot of fun.
You have 5
Yes.
bottles left. How many did we buy?
Well, we went shopping on Thursday, so that means we have.
Did you buy a case?
I don't think
I
you
thought
can
we
buy
bought about 5 bottles. We must have bought about more.
23. Yes, this week, more Star Wars content coming out, more streams. Everyone here has their own respective channels that they're going to be on, and we're all going to be back. If you're new here to the channel and you haven't followed Ernie, Yoko, and Paul, their links are here in the YouTube video description below. Starting with Ernie. Ernie, what do you got going on this week? What's happening to your arm?
I'm trying to show my name right here.
Oh, okay.
You said I actually did it right the first time. I didn't go like this.
Or
I thought about it
Yoko
really
high
hard.
five the same direction twice.
I know. I did.
So I nailed it. Let's see. I got Wednesday night the Fallen Fett Chronicles on my channel, followed by the Sarlacc Digest podcasts on the Sarlacc channel. Thursday is They're Not Dolls on Toy Migos. And then here
Are these all questions?
I don't know, because I'm saying
Please
it in my
Sarlacc
head like, do I feel like
Digest?
I'm missing
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Thursday?
Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. And then Saturday, I will be in El Monte doing a show selling pops and toys and
Selling what,
bunches
sorry?
of stuff.
I thought you said
Pops?
pot.
No, pops. Pops. Funko
I'm like,
I'll
Pops.
be
pot and
selling
toys.
pot and toys, and
Hey, internet.
suddenly it becomes
No.
a different kind of show.
Pops. Yeah. Come on,
Pops.
whatever you need. let me know.
Demonetized.
I got it. Yeah. No, I'll be selling pops and toys, and Riley will be there selling her crochet
Still sounds like
stuff.
pot.
Really? It's because I got fat lips, dude.
Just
Pops.
say Funkos.
I'll be selling Funkos and toys, and Riley with her crochet crafts, and Corinne with her ears. So it's gonna be an awesome weekend. The potted fete. No, I said pops.
Ernie with his feet and Corinne with her ears.
Yes. There we go. Please
Oh, the dispensary fets. There we go.
subscribe. Yes.
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you, everyone. Go show the Fallen Fett some love on all of those
Thank you.
outlets.
Thank you.
Outlets. Oh, Yoko goes last because you do outro.
Yeah.
Paul,
Yo,
what have you got going on?
what do I have going on? Sunday nights, my YouTube channel, Bitter Asian Dude Inc. Got Funboxing Sundays, where I unbox a geeky collectible, do a half-ass review, and we chat. And I do very, very long intros, apparently, because I like to say hello to people. And yeah, I was raised polite. And it's a good thing to have. It's a good problem to have, because there are a lot of people who tune in and everybody gets their due. So very happy about that. But yeah, Sundays, 7:00 p.m. Eastern. Check it out. Bitter Asian Dude Inc. Funboxing Sundays. It'll be episode 60, which is cool. And we're also going to have, I think, Tom, if you're still here, we're going to have another trivia challenge. So that will be a lot of fun. Lots of nerdy, geeky trivia on the show, as done by Tommy K, as always. So join us for that. And on my Instagram channel, I've gotten away from it, but I want to do another couple of Instagram lives. I've got some things that I'd like to unbox. So, you skipped me when it was like, what did we get for Star Wars stuff? I got today. I know I said I would not go back to Black Series. But I got this guy just because I like the Republic Commando from the Bad Batch. Right? So when I've got the Bad Batch group, so it's like, well, he's kind of part of that show. I picked up and unboxed this Dr. Afra last night. Really impressed with this
She
fig.
looks good.
Yeah,
She's
I was
great.
gonna say you could take the jacket off, but it looked weird with the sleeves.
Yeah. Anyways, cool.
It's a great figure,
I found out she doesn't stand up very well on her own. Look at these tiny little feet.
Oh no.
Mine's standing up on my shelf.
Mine, I can't, like, the ankle is all bent funny.
You need some stands, Paul. I'll send you some stands from Tashi Station Emporium.
Coolio. And then I got, this one I picked up today. How could I not? I saw this. I was like, it's like,
where'd you get that at?
Walmart. There's a Walmart. I dropped off Anna to get her hair done, and this was at the Walmart, like at the bottom of a pile of, like, I don't know. It's like every Walmart I've been to, it's like a demilitarized zone, right? Like everything's scattered everywhere, and it's like, oh wow. I was looking for movies, and then this was at the bottom of this pile of stuff. I was like, oh my god. And so I was really happy about that. I think this is a message because, of course, Apollo Creed, played by the inimitable Carl Weathers, who also happens to be the director for the next episode of The Mandalorian.
Nice.
And that episode's co-written by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Ooh. So now there's speculation abounds, because whenever Filoni's involved, somebody shows up. Crossover somebody. Who knows who's going to show up? I know some of the people they're speculating maybe Ahsoka shows up, maybe you see a little bit of Thrawn, maybe you see this or that. I've heard Fen Rao, maybe. Who knows who's going to show up, right? So that's the speculation right there. It is going to be a shorter episode, 30 minutes, 39 seconds from what I hear. That includes the credits, so it might be actually shorter than that. But I think it'll be great for Yoko's Midnight 30 crew, because then you can just jump on board really quick. Instead of having to wait all that time. And also, Carl Weathers was also the director of the first ever episode of The Mandalorian that I was in. So I thought that was pretty cool. So there you go.
Nice pickup.
Emily Swallow also said to us something about this episode. Remember, Kev? She was she's like, oh, I'd be really curious to see your reactions this week or something. So what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Dun.
Are you watching? Should I do the voice for you right now, Emily Swallow, if you're watching?
Do it.
I can't. You are a Mandalorian no more.
Why did you age her up like 1,000 years too?
We've been talking for 3 hours. Like, give me a break. You are a Mandalorian. No, I can't. Kuya. This is I know this immediately. That's to the tune of the thong song for sure, because I've sang this in my head before. That Thrawn. Not this month.
Oh
I put out a video. Actually, we went to Toronto Comicon and I got some footage there. I'm gonna try to do a vlog update here on the channel for everyone to check. I got to chat with Eric from Retro Kid and a lot of people, a lot of friends at the show, and just kind of look at some of the stuff that I found there. There's a special message for one of the Boba Squadron members in that video, so hopefully you all watch it. I did a vlog similar for a toy show from a few weeks ago. So if you watch that, let me know in the comments what you think about it, what you think it needs, or which part I can cut out, because when I go to San Diego Comicon in July, I'm gonna go and try to do something similar and kind of document that trip. So I think that would be a lot of fun. So let me know. Of course, unboxing Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here, back on this channel. Thank you everyone so much. But I have not forgotten everyone's favorite Boba Squadron member, Yoko.
Really?
Just accept it.
I'll just go with it. I'll just run with it this week.
Exactly.
What
do you got going on?
I'll be streaming
What am I-
tomorrow. I haven't decided exactly. I had started the this is the, if you can't tell, this is the Razor Crest, the smaller one, not the UCS.
Oh yeah,
I
that's when it blows up.
I finally started it.
Just like it.
So I might continue that, but I also got these cards.
Oh,
Nice.
With my mans. So I gotta open this, and there's a WandaVision one too. So maybe I'll open
Shower-
this tomorrow.
Shower
and wait
Bucky
another
rare autograph.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine if I got the Seb auto? Like, can you imagine?
I would be
Anyway,
very happy
so-
for you.
One or the other tomorrow, 7:30. I might even start a little bit earlier, 7-ish tomorrow Pacific time. And then midnight 30, of course, super excited. Drink that extra coffee, stay up, watch the episode, come chat about it right afterwards. Live and La Vida Yoko over on Twitch. And I think that's all I have going on this week.
Beautiful week of programming for everybody.
Right?
I think that's it, Yoko.
That's it.
Now that you're
Time to
back,
roll out. Yeah.
yeah. You
Oh,
got
how'd it go last week?
I don't remember.
I don't think we
We
even
had a-
did one.
We
There was
had
no
we drank a
alcohol?
lot this weekend.
Yeah.
Kevin did one.
Oh,
Why do you say it like that?
I don't remember. I thought we didn't even try. I
It
thought
was
we just like kinda
non-memorable.
cut
Kevin
it
did one.
out.
I remembered it.
I didn't.
Well, if you're still here, be sure to hit that thumbs up before you go, like I just did. And subscribe, follow, whatever, on whatever platform you're watching. If you haven't already, I'm sure you did. We go through this every week. I'm sure you did. Unless you're new here, then maybe you haven't. So then be sure to do that. We appreciate it. It really helps the channel, So we're trying to hit 5,000 this week, right, Kev? This year.
Every week I'm trying to hit 5,000.
Yeah. So I've lost my rhythm. I forget how to do this. That's it.
Oh.
That's it. We'll see you next week, next Monday. Return of the Boba Squadron. Yeah. It was those of you I got to see in Toronto this week. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for inviting me into your homes and hearts. I had a great time. Ernie, we miss you.
Thanks.
Nice. Thank
Feeling
you, Yoko.
emotional? Just kidding.
I know. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Might need
I
to
wanted to be there.
It's glad you're back. We'll get back into the rhythm of the outro. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a great night and keep toying around. Oh, don't say anything incriminating. I'm going to play this so that we can do that thing at the end.
5,000. I'm trying to hit 350.
Wait, where did it go?
What?
Oh, it's got a loop.
It's a trap!
So is
How
this a
long-
bad time to bring up? Oh,
Oh.
just kidding. I have nothing.